You're about to watch another exciting episode of the Dungeon Run, but did you know that you can actually be part of the adventure? Tune in live on Wednesday nights at 6 p.m. Pacific time, and you can make your voice heard and help determine the fate of our adventurers. Hope to see you there.
Greetings and welcome to The Dungeon Run, a live tabletop role-playing game where your interactions help tell the tale. I am Lord Ereban, the Keeper of Secrets, and I have brought these adventurers together and set them on an epic quest to decide the fate of the world. When they found my amulet, it gave them the key to unlock the mysteries of Ein and allowed them to communicate with you, the Watchers of the Time Stream. Now you have the power to help or hinder them as you see fit. If this is your first episode, fear not. Our Dungeon Master will catch you up on everything you need to know to jump right in. And you can always watch past episodes by visiting our YouTube or listen to the audio version by searching for The Dungeon Run wherever you get fine podcasts. The Dungeon Run is made possible through the generous support of our patrons. Bonus shows, special content, and more is available when you become a supporter at patreon.com/thedungeonrun. And join the incredible Dungeon Run community by visiting the official, unofficial Discord at thedungeon.run/discord. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe. It really does make a difference. But now, sit back, relax, enter the world of Ein, and let the dice roll!
Hello, welcome, Watchers of the Time Stream patrons. Welcome to episode 98 of the Dungeon Run. If this is your first episode, hang tight. We're going to give you all the information you need to jump right into our story very shortly. But I want to welcome you to episode 98 of the Dungeon Run. We are made possible entirely through Patreon at patreon.com/thedungeonrun. We are grateful to our patrons. And if you want to check out Patreon and find out ways that you can support the show, make sure we continue and find out all of the cool things that becoming a patron can get you, including this week, a brand new cast secret. I believe it was Ronald Ogden this week who posted. Ron, give us a little sneaky peekies.
Sure. I talked a lot about level loss is a strange thing to experience in the TTRPG space. So how does one role play level loss? That's what I discussed.
Yeah, I think you're blazing a trail in that way. In a lot, I'm not sure there's a known path for that, but very, very cool. And we got what other announcements do we have? We have a big month coming up. We are now squarely in Shocktober, which I guess is good because we're already fighting demons. So, you know, it's working out great.
We had an amazing dungeon cooldown on Monday for those who missed it with Heather Stewart and Leah Finkelstein, our music team, and some guy named Jeff Kanata as well. He was there.
What a great episode. It was cool to finally get our musical directors, our live scoring duo who do the incredible music for the show. To kind of reveal their process and talk about how they came to this crazy job.
There was a tin whistle.
There was a tin whistle solo
performance. Yes. Incredible.
And our patrons can watch the VOD of that right now, and it'll be coming to the YouTube in due time.
You do not want to miss that. You do not want to miss that one in particular.
I did clip the tin whistle, though. It's on the Twitch somewhere.
But yeah, and otherwise we have some amazing new merch, Ronald.
Yes, we do. We dropped a desk mat. It's literally a neoprene for mice and dice, as I have been saying. We also have dropped some DM shirts. So we now have JD Illustrates art of Jeff as the DM, as well as a medallion, a Humankind Be Both medallion. Jeff, which artist, Jinx or? I can't remember.
Do not put me on the spot. Now I'm going to look like
so sorry.
Idiot.
So another artist that has been so kind to do some art for us has allowed us to use this for a shirt. You can also get coasters with the medallion on it. And we've got more coming. We're getting ready for Christmas, so I'm working on that. Holidays, all of that kind of stuff. So keep an eye out as we drop more on the merch.
Yeah, and we got our big 100th episode right around the corner. Stay tuned for announcements about that. Plus, our annual Halloween extravaganza is going to be even more extravaganzic.
It's a word.
I made that word up.
That works. I'm into it.
It's going to
Shakespeare
be.
did it. You can too.
It's going to be. It's going to be pretty awesome this year. We can't talk yet about what it's going to be, but there are big plans. So stay tuned for all of that stuff. Okay. I also need to tell you, if you are here live watching on twitch.tv/The Dungeon Run, you can participate in the show. You can purchase digital items that influence how this game is played. And there are a number of them, including balloons, gold balloons and purple balloons. The gold work for Team Force of Good, the purple work for Team Force of Evil. And then there are potatoes, the golden potato and the evil yam, purple yam. Those are big pushers of this tug of war that's happening between Team Force of Good and Team Force of Evil, the winner of which has a card for their team that is put into play the following episode. Last week, Team Force of Good ran away with the victory. So there is a Force of Good card that will be in effect this entire episode. And I will reveal that card to you now. These are submitted by folks like you. You can submit cards for our consideration. This one was submitted by Silly, which I think is a portmanteau of Civ and Lily.
Mm-hmm.
And the card, this is a fun callback to a very early reference, or much long ago reference. It is called the Sharn Cha-Cha. And it says each Sharn, yeah, the pirate.
I love you, Sharn.
Orc female that I was hanging out with at the top of the ship.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
So it says each character.
Cool. Jared was paying attention.
Each
to
character
my parts.
in
the
this
scenes
episode
that I'm not in, not so much.
gets 2 additional dagger attacks against any opponent they're in melee range with. Yo-ho, yo-ho, it's a pirate's life for us.
Dagger attack.
Just as free
Free
actions?
attacks, yeah.
Okay. I'll
Okay.
take that.
Dagger.
Yeah, we'll take anything we can get.
I'll take that.
Yeah, so those are obviously 1d4, but yeah,
Dex.
so
Gotta
plus
hit.
dex, exactly.
I can smite on dagger attacks. I'm just saying.
There you
Yeah.
go.
Yeah.
Smite.
All right, we already have 2 gold potatoes that have been dropped. One is
Wow.
from Civ Needs a Win,
Aww.
Two.
Frozen
Good.
kitty.
and the other is from Whisper Josephine, who says to roll a d6, and if it is even, it's a potato, and if it's odd, it's a yam.
It's a force of neutral potato.
Here we go. It's a 2.
So it's
So
a potato.
it is a potato.
Yay!
Hey, golden potato. Thank you, Whisper
Goodwill
Josephine.
prevail.
Thank you for that very, very generous donation. And it brings the Team Force of Good to 100% of the tug of war at this very moment.
Oh,
So there you go. All right. Am I forgetting anything? I always forget something.
You forget to do the thing where you go, I think there's something else. What is it? Oh, it's Jessica. She needs 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is that part. What's up, Jessica?
Hi, everybody. I'm looking at our feed here, and thank you so much for everybody who's giving out community subs. We have Emotional Reserve, who gave out 5 community gift subs to our watchers. We also got 10 community gift subs from Sonic the Hodgepodge.
Wow.
We got 10 community gift subs from Witch Space, a jar full of bees with a huge cheer. Lots of little cheers. Anything that you send over, we see and we love. Hadrian with another big cheer. So many, and I think we also got almost to a level 5 hype train. We're at 30%. So thank you so much for that. It really helps to start off the episode with.
also lots of
Celebration.
subscription streaks, which is so cool to see.
Yes,
Thank
yes.
you.
And if you didn't know, you can sub for free with your Amazon Prime account. You can do that by
Yeah.
looking at our About page.
Awesome. With that said, we only have one thing left to do, and that is light the torch. It started as a simple dungeon run, but it has become a petrifying showdown with the forces of darkness. Civ, Fahima, James, Uggo, and Lily became a team the day they found the Secret Keeper's Amulet, a magical relic that dates back to the Ariate Age, a time shrouded in mystery. That discovery brought them into contact with the Natural Order, a group of wizards on a mission. For 300 years, the realms of Ayn had been protected by incredible 100-foot-tall beings infused with elemental power, the Wardens. But the Wardens were missing, and their disappearance worried the wizards of the Natural Order. Working in secret, the Natural Order began to search for the Wardens, with operatives spread out across the realms. One such wizard, Torvald the Timid, enlisted the aid of our heroes to find the Storm Warden, imprisoned inside a massive tower floating in the sky. Attacked by a mad scientist and his army of clockwork automatons, it took everything they had to free the Warden. And when they did, a peculiar thing happened. The Secret Keeper's Amulet transported them into a memory from the Warden's subconscious, revealing clues about the lost history of the Ariate Age and the war that brought that peaceful time to such a violent end. Bringing the amulet into contact with additional Wardens promised to add more pieces to the puzzle, so Torvald sent the team to the city of Turlis to consult another member of the Order. They met with Hermel Fesh, the scholar of Nightstone Abbey, who had mentored James Quillis during his time at the school. Unfortunately, the chief regent of Turlis, Persta Samuels, had instituted a moratorium on magic in the city, and the heroes found it difficult to abide by the law. To make matters worse, a group of thieves stole vital information right out of their hands and framed them for a murder they did not commit, forcing them to flee Turlis for fear of prosecution. As the team continued to track down the Wardens, they began to realize that the leader of those thieves was connected to the mad scientist they had battled inside the Sky Tower. Both were part of a cabal led by the mysterious Ashen Mage, Calcutta Theed. Theed had formed the Shadowy Alliance to capture the Wardens and extract the motes of power that energized them. In addition to the Storm Warden, the Cabal held the Inferno Warden at the bottom of the sea and the Typhoon Warden inside a roiling volcano. The Quake Warden remained beyond their reach, but the information they had stolen from Nightstone Abbey revealed the existence of a fifth Warden, previously unknown to them. That knowledge prompted the Ashen Mage to try to expand her cabal to 5 members as well. Atop Sky Scorcher Peak, Theed solicited Fahima Tig to join her side, but the offer angered her ally, who smashed a magical urn in retaliation. The resulting explosion sent ripples across the realms, spawning hideous demons, the likes of which no one had ever seen. In the days and weeks that followed, the team battled all manner of monstrous fiends and defended towns and villages from the creatures' relentless attacks. They traveled north to Thorn, Uggo's hometown, and learned that Uggo's brother, Braca, was using the sudden appearance of demons to advance the dark agenda of an evil Aboleth. Uggo defeated Braca and became the new leader of Thorn, but chose to give up a connection to his barbarian ancestors to ensure the well-being of his people. When the team finally returned to Turlis, the city was under siege. The shantytown just beyond the northern wall was decimated. Horrifying monsters overran the town's guard and bombarded the city walls. But the moratorium remained. The Heroes of Bingle beat back the demonic horde, but did so in disguise, as wanted posters tacked to signposts still offered a ransom for their arrest. To clear their names, they set about tracking down the real culprit for the murder. They determined that an orc by the name of Beal had been hired to frame them, so James cast suggestion on the brute, obliging him to confess his crimes. They marched Beal directly into Persta Samuel's compound, and he claimed responsibility for the murder. But when the terms of the suggestion were complete, he lashed out at James. In the ensuing commotion, Samuels ordered everyone detained, but Uggo refused. He used his magical belt to reform the rock and stone beneath him and tunnel out of the barracks. Reuniting with a waiting Civ, the two of them returned to Nightstone Abbey to demand Hermel Fesh and Torvald the Timid do something to help their friends. Meanwhile, Lily, Fahima, and James were clamped into magic dampening collars and carted off to prison, where they found an old friend waiting for them. A merchant by the name of Jorl had been arrested as their accomplice and was incarcerated in a nearby cell. The three heroes made their case to Persta Samuels, arguing that the moratorium on magic endangered the citizens of Turlis instead of protecting them. But before the chief regent could render her judgment, demons burst through the floor of the prison, slaughtering the guards and knocking Persta unconscious. At the same time, across town, winged demons flew over the city walls and began to lay waste to the rest of Turlis. Realizing they had sent a chastened Fesh out into the carnage, Uggo and Civ dashed out of Nightstone after him. While Civ beelined for the prison, Uggo found Fesh and attempted to pull him underground with the belt. But the flying fiends blasted the cobblestone underfoot before the duo could escape. Uggo called out to Civ, who made it back just in time to save his friend from the wrath of a nightmarish frost demon. Unfortunately, the creature's icy slash infected Civ with a freezing poison that quickly turned his body into a block of solid ice. In the prison, the other three heroes of Bingle managed to free themselves from their magic dampening collars, and James successfully banished two of the burrowing demons, but a third remained between them and the exit. And as we ended last week, Persta made a valiant attempt to distract the monster while Fahima cast a wall of fire, trying to pin it against the south wall of the facility. And so, on two fronts, the team continues to fight for their survival and the survival of one of the largest cities in Ain against impossible odds. The Dungeon Run, episode 98, begins now.
Yeesh.
All right, so.
Jared, can you hear me? Jared?
We are a team divided still, and so we will bounce back and forth between the two factions of team, and we're going to start with Uggo and Civ. Civ, as I said, is frozen solid, petrified inside that block of ice,
but I still have feelings deep down inside.
So I mean, he's a little Han Solo action there. Civ, I need you to say oil can. Oil can. All right. Okay. So what has just happened is, you guys made a dash past the demons. Uggo, you carrying frozen Civ, the bag of holding, and even hoisting Fesh along the way in order to get past this section of street. There are flying demons soaring all over the city. It is a full-on invasion here, and you're staring at a maelstrom. I mean, it is chaos everywhere. People screaming, crashing, slamming, the sounds of this sonic explosion that blow holes in the cobblestone streets. It is a war zone. And Fesh, you've gotten past this section of flying demons as you attempted to evade them, and Fesh is looking at you and staring up at the sky and trying to see where more demons are, and he says, defenses have broken down, and there seem to be many demons between us and Nightstone. No offense, but I saw how you ran from the winged fiend. A wise decision, no doubt, but I do not think it is wise for us to attempt to navigate this particular gauntlet.
Okay, I guess. Jeff, are there any buildings nearby? I'm assuming we're keeping near buildings to.
Yeah, there are buildings all around you. Yeah.
So then the one I'll literally try a door that's I can see.
Okay. You as you walk up to the first door, it is locked. The streets, there's people on the streets screaming. There are bodies on the streets. There are bodies of guards, but anybody,
I don't think anyone is going to really care. I'll try to. shoulder my way in if I can. Or I'll go and try to shoulder.
I'll pick the lock. Oh, wait.
You frozen.
I can't do that.
All right. Give me a strength check, Ugo. You have advantage from Wordsmith.
Thank you, Wordsmith. Not great, actually. Looks like 13 is my total.
You hit your shoulder against the door, and it moves slightly, but you don't break it and you don't bust through. Fesh is looking up, trying to make sure that the sound hasn't drawn any attention from any of the demons. And he says, you are a new paladin, and I, a wizard who pointedly did not prepare any attack spells this morning. I fear for our safety. It is clear to me that Civ is the strongest among us. We need to rid him of his condition as soon as possible.
Well, you're confusing me now, because I was going to the Nightstone to fix him, but now you say we gotta stay.
I have an idea.
Yes.
Not all of the city seems to be equally occupied, at least from what I can tell, looking at the skies. He looks at you. Are you familiar with Orcish things?
Well, yeah, I've got plenty of them in my bag.
No way!
Yes!
The store. No, the store in the north part of town.
Yes, we've been there. Yeah.
Jeff, Ugo tries to remember where that is compared to where he's currently.
Okay.
Survival check?
History check.
Oh,
Let me history check. You have advantage from kitty scritches.
Kitty scritches. History is not my strong suit.
Well, wouldn't Fesh know? Because he lives there.
Yes, but Ugo is attempting to remember right now.
Yeah,
so.
right.
All right.
Actually, not bad. 15.
All right, yeah, Ugo, you recall the first time you had traveled to Turlis, going north along the road. It's sort of on the outskirts of town. It's certainly far away, or not far away, but away from the center of where this attack seems to be happening, which is right in the sort of busiest area of town.
Ugo is going to pull one of his crustacean hammers and look down the road and look for a window that he can throw it. He's looking to distract from the noise that he just made by smashing a window further away from where they are.
Okay.
And away from the way that he knows they are now going to travel.
Okay, roll me a dexterity check, see if you can smash that window. You have an advantage from Kaibuk.
Oh, can I just make an attack against it?
Oh, I guess that's fine.
Yeah. Okay.
A ranged attack, yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, much better for me.
you still have advantage from Kaibuk.
Thank you, Kaibuk. Ooh, it's a 24.
All right, so you deftly toss your tiny crustacean hammer, flies through the air and smashes a window across the street another way. You hear screeching above, and immediately wings, a shadow on the ground, wings come down and pounce on the top of that roof across the way.
I'll go take that opportunity to hightail it the opposite direction towards Orcish things.
All right, so you're carrying Ice Civ. Mm-hmm. And Hermel is huffing it behind you. He's certainly not as fast as you are.
Well, Ice Civ is in.
He's in the bag of holding, right?
Hermel.
Okay, right. Yes, like you're crossing the threshold, running along. Yes, yeah. I forgot. Yes. Okay. So you make pretty good time, kind of staying close to the buildings and trying to avoid Hermel calling out when he sees demons overhead. But as you get farther away from the city center, there are fewer of them. There are actually fewer of them, and it doesn't seem like the attack is focused on the outskirts, which is sort of in contrast to the last time you saw the orcs, the demons attack the city, which was like over the wall at the outskirts, at the entrances of the wall of the city. This time they've sort of burrowed up from underneath and flown in and are kind of attacking the city from the center out. But you arrive at that sort of industrial area that you remember. You guys had a chase through the streets there, across the rooftops, months ago in the game time and years ago in our time. But you arrive, and it is that familiar sight of that quaint souvenir shop. Really, it's very much a tchotchke, and they sell weapons, and it is that orcish things. However, this time, as you arrive, you hear the sound of it sounds like banging on the side. If you want to roll me a perception check,
Yeah.
you have advantage from Labrador.
Thank you, Labrador. Oh, yeah. 19.
So it becomes immediately clear to you that the sound you are hearing is a hammer boarding up the side of this building. And Fesh kind of indicates that he would like you to set him down.
Oh, yeah. I'll go puts him down. So you're in where we are currently, there doesn't seem to be a whole lot of demons nearby.
That's correct.
Okay.
Yeah, it seems to be a brief respite. I mean, you can still see them out over the top of the city, and it is still a tense and terrifying location to be, but it doesn't seem to be the focus of who they're attacking and where they're attacking.
I'll go scream, doesn't scream out, but he hopefully equal sound level to the banging, says in Orcish,
I may kill you today.
And you see a head pop around the corner, hands holding a hammer, and it is a familiar older female orc with braided hair. And she looks at you and she says, "We are closed." And Hermel says, "Igby, it's Hermel Fesh. Are you safe?" And she kind of comes out and sees that Hermel is standing there with an orc. And she goes, "One of the benefits of a business on the outskirts. No demons yet, but we're preparing." And Fesh says, "I'm here to see Floyog. Is he below?" And she nods. "What?"
History or religion on the name Floyog?
Mm-hmm. You can do. Which would you prefer?
Religion.
All right. You have advantage from Goofus McDorkle.
Thank you, Goofus McDorkle. 19 plus 1, 20.
That's a name that stirs a recollection in your mind, and it's certainly a religious recollection. I'm curious if Ron Ogden is recalling. No. All right. Ugo is. It is the name of an orc you met once. 22 years ago.
Whoa! Oh my God!
In another body, in another time.
Deep
On the ship.
Deep dive.
On the ship.
Yeah, when he was converting.
And Algo says, "Did you say Floyog?"
Yes, I believe he may be able to help us.
Hermel, remember when we told you we went back in time?
Yes, what an extraordinary tale.
Ugo, as other orc, met Floyog and told him of Candle Queen.
Well, I believe he, this day, may be our salvation. And Fesh leads you around to the side of a building that has a storm cellar. This horizontal
That is awesome.
pair of wooden doors that sit on a slant there, you know. He pulls them open to reveal stairs. And he turns to you and he says, "After you."
This feels very strange to Ugo.
And Ugo descends the stairs.
All right. As you walk into the room, it is glowing, absolutely incandescent. Candles cast flickering light across the drab walls. Candles everywhere. Hundreds of candles in this small underground chamber. A sickly sweet smell of them as they burn. Smell of incense. There seem to be a couple of cots down here with wounded orcs laying on them. At the back of the room, standing quietly over them, is an older orc, nearly 40, but in Orcish, that's quite advanced age. Dressed in long robes, Around his neck, a golden ankh hangs from a thin chain. He looks up at you as you walk in.
Blessings of the Candle Queen upon you.
And may her blessing shine in the darkness that is our world. Excuse me, I am overcome.
Come in, seek shelter. We're safe here.
Floyog, I am Uggo, Rage Fist. You may have heard of Uggo the Brave many years ago. It's too much.
How do you know that name?
The Candle Queen has seen fit for Uggo to travel in time and to tell you of her. I know it may be hard to believe.
I do not understand what you are telling me.
I don't understand myself. And Uggo looks to Hermel. Uggo does not have words for this.
Floyog, we come to you in need of your skills. I know our relationship has not always been easy, but the city is under attack, as you well know, and this orc has a friend who has been infected with some nefarious magical poison. He needs the healing hand of a cleric. Of course.
And he's still looking at you, Uggo, sideways.
Wait, I don't, this is, and Uggo pulls frozen sieve out of the bag. You are here to heal him while demons and Hermel, did you say he is cleric of Candle Queen?
That is correct, yes.
I am a paladin of the Candle Queen. I have taken the oath of the family. I am lost.
It is an honor to meet you.
Dondo, Corrigina, led Uggo to Candle Queen not long ago, and then that experience I have all for to lead here. You using Candle Queen's power to heal my friend.
I am confused.
Well, I am as well.
I found Dondo's words after being pointed to them by an orc.
Yes. He had a tattoo on his chest.
Yes.
Yes.
He told me that a very brave hero told the whole world when an adventuring group saved them all.
Yes.
And that every person in the world heard those words.
Yes, that is my friend James.
It was a prophecy that came true.
I told you of it. It is hard. Are you familiar with the time dragon Nonezaron?
No.
I make sense that you would not be. Uggo was not either. It is hard. I know it may be hard to believe. But I am telling you the truth. Time dragons exist, and I have met one. And they sent me back in time with my friends, including the one frozen here, to learn something. And Uggo was hasty and decided to test the thing. And I told you of that moment because Uggo knew at that time that moment would come to pass. I told you of it to convince you what I was telling you then was real.
You do not look like the same orc.
I was not. I was transported into another's body. It was on the Isle of Rum, near the Isle of Rum. The orc traveled with Whitebeard.
Yes.
Yes.
I was a slave.
Yes, you were.
Many of us on that ship, continued on with Whitebeard, but I journeyed back to Terlis to see if what you told me was true. If orcs and humans really were descended from the same ancestors.
Did you find it?
I am encouraged how orcs and humans have cohabitated here in Turlis. I have done what I can to help, but since the moratorium of magic, I have been forced to stay underground, healing those I can.
Yes.
You also told me that rage is unnatural, that it comes from something artificial. These orcs and many others here in Terlis have lived a life turned away from rage. You are right. You were right. Even though I struggle to understand. Allow me to help your friend. I will do everything I can.
Thank you.
Go the brave.
I do not feel brave now.
It is horrible out there. Floriag, I have heard this. I am doing what I can for those that seek me out, but so few know I am here. I do not know what to do. I think we should start by restoring this tabaxi to his rightful state. Of course. Place him here.
And I'll go moves too.
You set this frozen solid version of Civ Red Thistle on a cot. Your hands cold from the touch of him. And you see Floriag standing there looking quite a bit older than the last time you saw him, even though you only saw him a month ago in your time. He is aged, his skin is wrinkled, his whiskers are gray, his tusks chipped and yellowed. And he walks over to Civ, and he grasps the ankh around his neck, and he closes his eyes. And then he places his hands on Civ, and all the candles in the room, the hundreds of candles placed around this space, somehow, some way, all of them get brighter. The room glowing as if someone turned up the juice. This brilliant, soft glow turning into a white hot intensity. And he holds his hands on Civ, casting greater restoration. And you see the bits of ice that have formed around Civ's eyes and the corners of his mouth, at his nose and in his fur. begin to melt, water dripping, dropping onto the floor of this basement. And as he stands there and these lights glow with this intense brightness, you see the other orcs on the cots have to cover their eyes from it. Fesh also turns away, trying to hide himself from the brilliance of this illumination inside this tiny enclosed space. But Floriag does not close his eyes. He turns and he looks at you, full in the face. Praise the Candle Queen.
Yes.
Civ, you are returned to consciousness, the petrification effect removed by this greater restoration spell.
I immediately just start coughing and gagging and spitting out chunks of ice and water and drop down to all fours onto the ground.
I'll go make a medicine check on Civ.
All right. You have advantage from Goofus McDorkle.
Thank you, Goofus McDorkle. 18.
He seems to be, back to relative normal, although there is a strange 18 on your medicine check. For a moment, think it is a trick of the light. So much of the light down here has been extraordinary, just that the feeling of it, the illumination of this room. So of course, for a split second, you think this must be just a strange illumination, a residual of that frozen aspect that Civ had just a second ago. But then that moment passes and it stays. And you see Civ Red Thistle looking up at you, fully conscious, fully aware. But Civ, your fur is blue. It has a bluish tint.
He's a Russian blue!
Aww, kitty, kitty.
Love it. I love it.
There is a change that you observe ago. Something different about Civ. This bluish tint, it goes deeper than just his fur. There's something different about his eyes.
Do I see this? Or am I still in
I mean, if you look down and you would notice your fur.
Right.
But I imagine you're fairly disoriented from that experience.
Oh yeah. I mean, I don't even know how I got here.
How many hit points are you down?
I'm only down 9 hit points.
Okay.
I got hit once and petrified.
I'll go, closes his eyes, pulls one of the unlit candles from his things, and casts Cure Wounds.
All right.
Okay, cool.
Get 6 hit points back.
Sweet. Thank you.
Where are we?
We are at Orcish things. Civ, do you remember when we went back in time and I told an orc about the Candle Queen?
On the boat?
Yeah,
Yes.
this is him.
I look over. Do I recognize him?
Were you there? I don't remember if you were there for that moment.
I mean, I was on the ship.
You were on the
ship.
ship. I mean, you may have even talked to him. He was the one that told you guys he was from Turlis, and that he had been captured. He had been captured by the Histasi on one of their slave ships, and Ago then had a moment with 3 orcs trying to convince them of the Candle Queen, but only one actually listened.
I mean, I'm gonna go over to him and shake the man's hand at the very least. Just look at him in the eyes. Thank you so much. I don't know how to repay you. I have gold. He reaches into the bag of holding and starts pulling out gold.
He touches your hand, your paw, and he says,
No. It is I who must repay you and your friend. He saved me in more ways than one.
Where are the others? I'm going to turn back to Ugo.
I don't know. You turned to ice and I came here. Hermel and I came here. Hermel, do you see that his hair is blue? And look at his eyes.
What are you talking about?
Look at yourself, Ziv.
I wasn't sure if I was seeing things.
No, his eyes are different.
It is probably just an effect of the poison. It is nothing.
You see Hermel wave his hand.
Allow me to detect magic.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Ziv, I do not know how to explain it. Perhaps there is some lingering effects of the poison, but you seem to still be afflicted with some magical residue.
I don't feel any different.
Well, as long as you are able to move and think, then we should see what we can do. The city is in dire straits.
We need to find the others. We need to get to the prison.
Yes. Ziv, do you realize what this means? What all of this means? What Floyog being here means?
No.
She is with us.
Who?
The Candle Queen.
Candle Queen.
Civ doesn't know what to say, so he's just gonna grab...
It is time to go, friend.
Yeah, he's gonna grab Ugo by the arm and Fesh by the arm. Well, just I don't know if Fesh wants to go with us, but he's gonna be grabbing Ugo and Fesh.
We are going to leave Fesh here.
Okay. What if one of them is frozen, though?
No.
We're going to bring them back here?
Yes.
Ziv, what you said was right. I have not done enough. That ends now. I believe we can be of aid. My students, the faculty. We can be of aid.
Everyone is going to have to fight for their lives. Everyone. Every child, woman, man, doesn't matter what race. If they want to survive this, everyone will have to fight or help someone fight. It is survival or eradication.
I am not prepared to commit violence, but I will aid in any way I can. But I can tell you my students are well versed in the magic of destruction.
Can they get us to the prison? Or is the
I don't
prison...
know.
Jeff, because I know where Orcish Things is at, and I know where the prison is at.
Yeah.
Are we closer to the prison, or are we closer to Nightstone from where we're at right now?
They're both sort of in the same direction from where you are. Nightstone is probably a little closer, but it's kind of half one, 6 1, half dozen the other. You know, it's kind of splitting off that way like that.
So we could still take the belt.
We might have to if we get attacked by demons again. But
it'll help us get to this.
This time we don't have to take the main streets. We can take the alleyways.
They are everywhere. We took alleyways here and they were everywhere.
We only came here because they are everywhere.
Yeah.
And I would recommend, if either of you need, for any reason, to collect yourselves, now would be the time. I can only imagine it will get difficult from here. So if you need to rest or
I don't want to rest. I don't want to rest. I want to find the others.
You need to rest, Ziv.
I understand, but we have a unique opportunity to be at our best. So I want you to be sure.
I am not going to sit in a hole while they die. I'm sorry.
You may die if we do not.
Then I die. And I start going up the stairs.
Uggo looks at Hermel and says, and Floyog, may the Candlepea Queen be with you, always. If I do not see you again, it was an honor to know you.
The honor has been mine. May the Candle Queen be with you both.
Jeff, I'm going to turn around at the top of the stairs, reach into the bag of holding, pull out one of those dragon coins that we got, and I'm going to flip it to the priest, to
Floyog.
Floyog, thank you. I didn't want to butcher
He catches it and looks at it.
Keep it for good luck.
As you come up the stairs, you pass the older female orc hammering in the nails, and she sees you moving at quite a clip past her, and she says, "May your enemies die at your feet."
As Uggo comes up the stairs and he hears her saying that, Uggo stops and pulls out the little box with not the three acorns, but the box that the acorns were in from his mother's. That is like a heirloom of Orcish reality. And he,
thank you for keeping Floyog safe. May the Candle Queen shine light in the darkness that is our world.
And he hands the box over to her.
The craftsmanship on this body is impressive.
That is Orcish royalty.
And then Uggo makes his way to catch up to Civ.
All right, and that's where we will switch over to the other half of our team.
Jeff! Oh my God, Jeff!
That's a great callback.
My Lord!
So good.
Really good callback.
You only were able to help.
Queen.
You were only able to help Civ because of what you did.
Yeah,
this is consequences. Consequences aren't always bad.
Sometimes consequences are good.
So incredible.
All right. So we are in the prison still. We can go to the map room now and check it out. When last we left the prison, Persta had rushed into a small antechamber, trying to distract the dredge fiend, the burrowing demon that was still alive in the prison, and Fahima had cast a wall of fire, trying to bar the two of them inside that little alcove to try to create a pathway to get the prisoners out. There we go. There it is. You can see the fire there.
So cool. That
Very
wall of fire
nice.
is awesome.
Yeah. It's nice when I get a week to prepare instead of okay, so I believe we left off.
And someone did point out, by the way, that Fahima's elemental adept feat allows her to ignore fire resistance. So
right, so we shouldn't have reduced that fire damage.
That fiend took 14 points and not 7 points.
Aegis 13 with that, always on the ball. Aegis 13.
Thank you. Thank you.
Aegis.
Yeah, thank you. And that's in our Discord. If you want to be part of that awesome community, check out the unofficial Discord. Okay, so I believe that brings us to the top. No, I think
It was the demon's. It was the demon's turn.
The demon's turn. That's right. So Fahima, and then it would be the dredge demon.
It had used its movement to get there.
Yeah,
There's
and
so
it is
much blood on the map.
No, it's horrific.
We ended it on the demon's turn.
Well, that makes sense. And the demon is going to had moved in there. Stand down. It's going to just surrender with its 5 hands up. No. It is going to attack Persta. It has multi-attack, and so I believe we have a bunch of balloons. I should mention those balloons from Shiny 8-Bit Boo and Squid Bob's Technical Pants and Lily Dumblestuck Fan and a jar full of bees and Popsicle of the Candle Queen.
Oh, nice.
Even though the Candle Queen liked popsicles, but here you go. There you go. I have advantage from Changebox on all of these attacks. Thank you, Changebox. Always so generous. No? I believe I do.
I actually counter that. You don't.
I counter that with my no. Okay, here we go. First one is a 21. Second one is a 23.
Oh, God.
Third one is a 16. So, 2 of them hits. So you see this thing reach out and attack with its claws. It slashes at Persta Samuels, who stands there, her sword extended, trying to parry the blow, but they come too fast. These multiple arms. It's got 5 clawed arms. 3 of them would be able to attack at any given time, and they come slashing at her, doing a bunch of damage.
Oh no!
11 points of damage. No, 12, 13, 14 points of damage. Which she had just been healed for 18, but she's also grappled. So it slashes her, and on the last slash, it hoists her up in the air, as you saw those what happened to those guards. And she, Persta, as this is happening, she's screaming, and she turns and she says, "Run!"
If at the end of the turn, right, wall of fire, if the demon is still within 10 feet of the flame, at the end of its turn, it takes the fire damage again. Yes.
Yeah, and so does Persta, unfortunately.
But not till the end of her turn.
Okay, so the end of the Dredge Fiend's turn, it will take. Fema, you want to roll me that damage?
Yeah, I'm just double checking the spell. Okay, yeah, it is.
You end your turn within 10 feet of the flame.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
All right.
Casting it right before its turn is actually perfect.
Oh yeah, it is. All right, so I'm rolling.
And it needs to roll a
5d8.
Dex saving throw
Yes.
again. Yeah, it needs to roll another Dex.
All right, again, I have advantage from Changebox. Oh, 7 and a 4. I don't think that's going to get it done.
No.
So it's only. Oh, that's only an 8.
Burn it.
Yeah, that doesn't save.
Come
All
on.
right, so 14 plus 5 is 19.
Mm-hmm.
That's 13, 18, 20, wait, 28. No, 18.
18 points of damage?
19 plus what? You said 19.
19 was my original, so it is 28.
28.
Yeah.
All right. 28 points of damage. Wow. Okay. And again, it does have fire resistance, but because of Fahima's abilities, it does not get that halved as it normally would.
That demon's real confused.
Exactly. Yeah, it usually doesn't have a problem with fire, but my goodness, its carapace. You see the shell, its outer shell, start to bubble and crack, and this thing searing, smoking even. That brings us to James.
Got it.
James, then Lily.
I mean,
have we been moving Jorl as well? Because he's been up in that little.
And same
spell
with
area
the
for a while.
prisoners. Yeah,
He's been held back. You unlocked the doors to all the prisoners.
Okay.
He's been holding back, as you can imagine. You look back and you see him, very, very nervously looking around, trying to find a section of the floor that has soup but not blood.
Right.
But very difficult to find.
One meal before I die.
Right.
So sad.
Yeah, James will look at Jorl and say, "Stand up and run!" And basically, James is fumbling through his things. I thought I had put the Pearl of Power in the bag with Civ, and it turns out I had not. So I'd only give Civ the Exploding Ring and the Shield of Absorption. So I still have the Pearl of Power on me. I'm going to use 30 feet of my movement, charging towards 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. We discerned that these are bars, yes, on to the right side of Persta and the demon.
These are bars. Yeah. Bars.
Okay.
Bars.
I am going to my last 5 feet. I'm going to stand right here and call out to Civ and Lily as I'm using my action to activate the Pearl of Power to restore a 3rd level spell slot. Yes, Fahima and Lily, thank you. Fahima and Lily, take them and get out of here. Go. Get the prisoners out of here. I'll stay with Persta.
stay with Persta?
I'm not going to let her sacrifice herself. This is my mess.
Well,
These people are in here because of me. Get out of here.
well, can't you get her out?
I will.
Okay, you said stay, so
Just get the head start, would you please? And take them with you, pointing along at the prisoners.
All right. Does that complete your turn?
Yes.
All right, Lily, you're up.
Okay, as a bonus action, I'm gonna move my hand, which is still up, to do grasping hand, which will be a strength contest with the demon.
Okay. You have
A little arm wrestle with the demon.
a straight roll as far as I'm concerned, but I still have advantage from change box. Oh, but I was countered by emotional reserve.
Yes, that's
Emotional
the kind
reserve
of
coming
emotional
into
reserve
counter.
I want to hear.
All right. So we have a contest of strength. Oh my goodness. I got a 10.
I got a 27.
Oh.
All right.
Okay, so grappled.
Yeah.
And then I think I can.
Another chain of grapple. It's grappling Persta. The hand is grappling it.
Yeah.
I know it's a grapple chain.
It's okay. I've got you. Yes, but who's got you?
But the target is going to take.
You know the name the movie, Morgan. You got it.
Superman.
Yes, indeed. Good job.
You guys are
Sorry.
amazing. I will
Who's
never
got
be able to
you?
do it.
Margot Kidder.
Margot Kidder.
The target takes bludgeoning damage. Do 2d6. So let me roll that really quick. Plus my spellcasting modifier.
have you moved yet?
Did not know. So that is 7 points of damage.
All right.
And then Lily is going to. I can see what's okay. I'm gonna move myself forward a little bit so I can make sure I can see. Oops, wrong thing. Just a little bit here. And then I'm going to cast really quick. I'll be like, okay, Behemoth, we gotta get the prisoners and go. But I'm gonna cast Hypnotic Pattern on the demon.
Okay.
Ooh, okay.
Why not try?
Okay.
Why not try?
Will that affect Persta as well?
I can select people that I think. Oh my gosh, I haven't cast it in so
I
long.
think it's everybody in a certain range. I mean, if you can get it, if you can keep her out of it, you can.
1
It
second.
will also end your Bigsby's hand.
That's okay.
If it's concentration, yeah.
Oh, that's right.
Oh, you're right. Okay, never mind.
It's a really good thought, though. Just to hold it there is a really good idea.
Never mind. I'm not gonna do that. Okay. Shoot. I just don't want to leave Persta in the hands of the demon. I haven't used Hypnotic Pattern in so long. I forgot it was concentration. Okay. The demon is. Are the prisoners? The doors are open to all of them now.
Yes. In fact, actually, I would think that the prisoners as a unit would probably all go at the bottom of the round since Lily is the top of the round.
Yes.
If you want to instruct them or try to get them.
I mean, I think we're kind of like airport directing them.
Yeah, James is
like,
get the heck down the hall,
Yeah.
run for it.
I assume we're all kind of like
Single
doing
file down the hallway.
20,
down the hallway.
25, 30. We'll get that one there. You want him all the way there?
Yeah, keep dashing. Use your
Go,
action.
go, go,
Run.
I mean, we don't see any
30.
other demons, so I assume that we're wanting them to be going. Okay, well then in that.
Whoa, whoa, whoa!
Don't go that way, bro.
Oh, where are you going?
Prisoner is confused.
I'm very weak.
I'm very confused.
He just walks straight into the
I
fire.
smell food that direction.
I just made him longer.
Burning smell.
Jeff, is Persta being held in front of the demon like the way it is on the map?
Yes. Yes.
Assuming? Okay, so then in that case, Lily is going to cast Shatter, but on the back of the demon because it's huge. So why not put it behind there? Yes. Behind there, and I will do that at level 3. No, I can't do that.
It will also hurt your hand.
Yeah, the hand
that's grappling.
The hand will get shattered as well.
Are you not dashing the other prisoners?
Jorl is not running by you guys.
Okay.
This one dashed, I believe. I think I did him 60.
Okay.
Maybe I'll be
But I
there.
think the hand can take.
It has your hit points, your maximum hit points as hit
Yeah,
points.
it's fine.
It can
that's
take
fine.
a bunch of
Okay, yeah,
damage.
that's fine.
Yeah.
That's fine. That's fine. I just want to make sure. I have a couple.
This
things
guy
that,
ends
like,
his turn at the
can't
fire,
take
doesn't he?
very long.
Oh no, the other side is the only one that hurts.
Yeah,
okay.
When you cast the wall of fire,
Yeah.
you choose which
Yeah.
direction it faces.
And
So
at the
I'm
end of the round, Katie's hand will also take damage from the firewall.
Right.
Yes, that's true. That is true.
It could, yeah.
It could
Okay,
probably still
so but
survive.
I'm still gonna cast Shatter because
Yes.
I ultimately I still need
It's
to
a
hurt
good
the
idea.
demon.
Yeah.
So as I'm directing traffic, cast Shatter behind the demon at level 3, and I will roll that damage. And you have to roll a Constitution save.
All right, I have advantage from change box, countered again by emotional reserve.
Wow.
Thank you both.
For those playing the home game, Shatter is not a concentration-based spell. Therefore, will
No,
not
it
break or
seems like
damage.
it.
I got a
seems like it.
16 on my con save.
That is exactly what you needed.
Still takes
Dang
half.
it. But it still takes half. All right.
Your hand also gets its con save.
Oh, that's true. I'll do that. That's funny. Okay, so it'll take 8 points of damage then. That's half. And I will roll a con save for the hand.
I think it's just 10. It doesn't specifically say, but
It does not.
8 points of damage?
Yeah, 8 points of
All right.
damage total. That's what half of it was going to be 16. And then the hand rolled a 2, so it does not save on its Constitution save. And
Oh, it takes the damage. That's right.
the damage.
Yeah.
So it takes 16 points of damage, which I will track. Just I don't have
So Lily, as her bard, she hums a tune, and it is amplified, placed in a specific location right behind this dredge demon, rumbling the walls behind, cracking off some of the plaster from the prison wall. It falls to the ground, and you see this thing rumble and shake, clearly damaged by it. Persta still held aloft, being squeezed by this thing. Does that complete your turn, Lily?
Yeah, how does the demon look, or can I tell through the fire?
It's pretty damaged.
Okay.
It's pretty
It
damaged.
doesn't look great.
Does not look great.
Dex save for
Fee-
the hand.
What's that?
Dex save for her Bigsby's
Oh,
hand.
She already failed it, right?
No, that was the con
save for the
save.
shatter.
That's
Good
the dex
Lord.
save for the fire. Yeah.
Ooh,
Okay.
dex save. We got it.
But Fahima, you can start
We got it.
planning your
We saved.
turn.
We
Also,
saved on the dex, not on the con.
We'll still need to roll damage for half, probably, for firewall.
How much is it? For
Jess.
firewall?
Oh,
Yeah.
sorry. I was already planning my next move.
Roll another damage for the wall of fire. for
Another
the hand.
damage?
Yes.
Yeah, I have
Okay.
to take it as the hand. The hand.
Okay.
Bigsby's got to take it.
All right. Saying the math out loud.
Bigsby.
All right. It's 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 plus 7 is 19. Plus 2 is 21.
Thanks.
So
Okay.
half that because it's saved, right?
10.
Yep.
So 10.
Yeah, 10.
Okay.
All right, Fahima, you are up, and then the dredge demon, and then James again.
Okay. So can you describe to me how the demon is holding Persta right now?
Yes, it has 5 these talon claws all over. In fact, JD illustrates an incredible drawing of one today. If you saw it
Yes,
on
I
Twitter.
did.
But it has her in its grip, and these claws. You know, we saw each of the guards when it happened. They can puncture and squeeze, but it has 5 available arms for this process.
Okay, it's kind of holding her up in the air.
Yeah, her feet are dangling. It is holding her up in the air. Yes.
Okay, so Fahima will move all the way up to the edge of the firewall here, get as close as she can.
Yeah.
And then she is going to cast. I just want to double check because this was a week ago. When I cast Blood Lance last time, it took full damage, right?
That's right.
It's a
Okay.
full
Yes.
necrotic. Yeah, it was
Yeah.
not
Yep.
resistant.
By the way, when you move to that position, the odor of the prisoner you're standing next to invades your nostrils.
Oh, I'm being sandwiched by them. Do I have to roll a con save on the
Oh,
firewall?
you take odor damage.
No, it's just unpleasant. It's not damaging.
Oh, I have a hard time maintaining my concentration.
Quick
yeah.
prestidigitation.
I use my full action to clean these guys. There you go.
You guys are gonna thank me for this later. Really, I promise.
Is there a corpse next to me for me to use Blood Lance?
There is not a corpse here. There is a corpse there, and there's a corpse there.
Oh,
But
really?
Yes.
Oh, bummer.
And of course,
Just
corpses
use one of the
here.
prisoners.
Use one of the prisoners.
Well, there was one up back there.
There's one here. There's one. Basically, all the blood spots have corpses.
Okay, so it's pretty far from a blood spot. Okay, maybe I should just take the damage then. How much damage is this? 1d10, and if I cast it at 5th level, I'll take 5d10.
Don't you dare.
LOL.
Like, James will see Fahima, like, thinking about it, like, grab her arm and, like, don't even think about it.
All right. Well, if I didn't have, if there was no corpses here, then instead, Fahima will run through her wall of, actually, no, wait, it's a conjuration, right? This is a conjuration spell? No, it's evocation, so I can drop it. Oh, shoot. Okay.
You only have how much, yeah, you would end your turn right there, wouldn't you? Because you've used a lot of your movement already. There is nothing that says if you run through the wall of fire that you take the damage immediately. It's only if you end your turn there.
I don't think that's true.
Is that not true?
I don't. Let me double check. But I think it's either you enter the space or you end your turn there.
Got it.
But let me just.
Oh, you're
double check.
right. When it enters the wall for the first time, you're absolutely right.
Yeah, that makes sense. Shoot. Okay, well,
Run. Go.
I'm gonna shoot a blood lance through the wall of fire into the demon as I run out of this dungeon.
Okay.
But I won't do it at 5th level so I don't kill myself. I'm out of 4th level spell slots, so I'll do it at 3rd level.
You're still taking damage. You'll still have to maintain
Oh, that's
concentration.
true. That's true. All right, I'm just gonna go all the way through it then. I'm gonna do it. I'm just gonna go all the way through and thunderbolt jump.
Careful, Persta's right there.
I know. Well, that's why I asked if she was being held up in the air. So
It's within 5 feet.
Yeah, I think she'll still get hit with the electricity.
What if I go here?
Let Fahima do what Fahima wants to do.
Yep.
Yeah.
By all means.
I'm pretty sure I had enough room to get here.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't want to hit Persta.
Yeah, you can run. I mean, you have enough movement to get around the side of it.
Yeah. Okay. So if I thunderbolt jump from here, then I shouldn't hit her, right?
Right.
Okay. Cool. Then I'm gonna do that.
This demon is huge.
Yeah, it's big. I mean, it's technically large, but yes, huge.
Sorry.
Okay.
Large.
All right. And so
Take the fire damage.
You got to take the fire damage, but you get that halved because of your racial trait, right?
yes.
So
all right.
dexterity saving throw? Yes.
You have advantage from that's wild, man. Oh nope, I'm sorry, that's the wrong person. You have advantage from Squid Bob Tentacle Pants.
Woo!
Okay, that was 23 damage. Man, no matter what I do, getting through this wall is gonna hurt me so bad. Okay, this is my dex saving throw against myself.
Yes.
Yeah.
Against my own spell save DC.
Oh yeah.
That's correct.
That's how powerful you are.
Yeah. Why are you hitting yourself? Why are you hitting yourself? Why are you hitting yourself?
You're a real little brother's dream right now.
I did not save against my own spell.
So you
So you
take
still take half.
You still take half.
11 points of fire damage, which means your concentration check to keep it up has to be an 11 or higher.
Yes.
Right. But you do have advantage from the Cosmic Lord on that.
Thank you, Cosmic Lord. Okay, yes, that was
Got it.
just a straight roll, right?
Yes.
For maintaining concentration.
Advantage.
But I mean,
You had
like,
advantage.
I don't add anything to it.
Constitution.
Okay,
Con.
18.
Yeah.
Oh, 18 plus my con. So 20 to maintain it.
Yeah, you beat yourself. I mean, you beat the 11. The lightning bolt jump requires a roll from me.
Let me check. This is so much finessing here.
So much going on every
Dexterity
turn.
saving throw. Mhm.
Okay. So I have advantage from change box, countered by emotional reserve again. Oh, I rolled a 3.
Yay!
so it
You'll
takes-
take all of it.
Now let me ask you the your ability. You select a type of damage to not get the resistance, right? And you selected fire, or is it all elemental damage that you do?
Just fire. Yeah, just fire.
So it is resistant to lightning, so it's only going to take half of this. But
Oh no!
These things suck.
yeah.
They are demons.
I know.
Yeah.
There's a reason why I
Wait a
still
minute.
hasn't been using poison.
Am I fire resistant now?
We could test it. I could poison you, and we could see if it affects you or not.
Okay, that was
Test
30,
James's-
30 lightning gem. 30
All right, so it takes
lightning
50.
damage.
All right, 15. Excuse me.
Whoa. Wow.
Right. So, Fahima, you run through this wall of fire that it singes you. Even though you are made partly of fire as a fire genasi, it still hurts as you bust through this wall of fire that you created. And then, as soon as you run up to the beast, looking at Persta hanging there limp in the air, you disapparate, and a static charge, this electric discharge, explodes on the creature, who vibrates violently as you teleport all the way to the other side of the firewall again. The prisoners, by the way, are slack-jawed at all of this. Just can't even imagine, can't even understand what's going on.
I would have been better in myself.
Just
all right.
reluctantly going back in their cages.
Now it's the dredge demon's turn, so it is going to use its ability to squeeze the blood from Persta Samuel's blood squeeze.
It's maybe one of my least favorite spells you've ever had.
It's really bad.
Jeff. Blood squeeze.
Yeah, it sprays blood in a 10-foot radius. And so that happens.
Oh my god.
Does it go through the firewall?
I don't see why I wouldn't. Oh wait, actually it's a 10-foot radius around it.
Okay.
So it's got to be bigger than that, right? 5, 10.
He puts out the firewall with blood.
Yikes. Sorry, kids.
Happy Halloween.
Corbin played it. Your kids watching?
It would be just beyond the fire, right? That's 10 feet.
Yeah, just beyond the fire. Right. So I think the point is that everybody running down this hallway has to do the deck save, right?
God.
Yeah. Or maybe it's not going to reach that far, right?
Yeah,
5,
I don't think
10.
it reaches that far.
It's only right at the edge of the.
Right.
Bummer.
Right.
I thought that was going to be a fun, sliding little.
Slide down the wall.
I'm gonna, I'm gonna
that
cheat.
would be fun.
Cheat it.
I'm gonna cheat it. It walks closer before it does that.
It's grappled. It's grappled by the hand.
Yeah.
Oh, they can't move.
Yeah.
You're right.
Good
You're
call.
right. It's grappled by the hand.
Oh my
Nope.
god, so many things. So
Good job,
many
Big B.
things.
Way to go,
Well,
Big B.
It gets to do the
Bigsby,
blood
that's what I'm
squeeze
calling.
as a bonus action, so it's actually going to use its action to attempt to get out of the grapple.
Great.
Yeah.
So that'll be a
Come on, Big B.
strength check. I have an advantage from change box, countered by that's wild, man. And Lily, you have advantage from emotional reserve.
Thank you.
Coming up huge this episode.
Okay.
Go Big B. Go Big B.
Oh!
Go.
I rolled a 19 for a total of 23.
Come on, Big B. Come on, Big B.
Dang it, Jeff. This is like you beat me by 1 point so many times in this fight. 13 plus 8.
21.
Yep. You beat me.
Beat me by
2
beat
points.
him by
2 points.
two,
All right,
yeah.
so it's
2
gonna
points. 2 points. A
it's
couple
gonna
points.
move forward. It's gonna squeeze the blood, and then it's going to drop Persta and burrow out of the fire.
Okay.
Through the wood?
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can burrow. You guys burrow speed of 30 feet. It's gonna burrow right here, come up from underneath the ground, but it's already used its action, so it can't do anything further. But at least it dropped Persta, who falls to the ground, and
Behemoth, drop the fire now.
you hear Jorl look at all this and go, "Life is," and then you hear Persta say, "Pain."
Oh no! Oh, Jeff!
Oh.
When is Persta's turn?
Yeah.
It is at the bottom of the round, but I guess she could have attacked when the prisoners were moving.
Yeah.
Can I drop the wall of fire at will? Just
I don't see why not.
Whenever?
It's a free action to drop concentration.
Yeah, as soon as I see the demon move, and Persa is trapped behind my wall of fire, I'll drop it.
Okay.
So if Persta could have gotten in an attack on her turn,
Yeah, I'll let that happen. Yeah, that
Although
makes
she
sense.
would, the firewall would have fallen after her turn, so she would.
She would have taken the damage.
Yeah, that's true too. And she rolled a 2 on her attack. So it doesn't matter either way. She just takes a little extra damage, which would have been, what, 20 something? Is that what we're at?
No, we
And
have
she
to
gets a
roll
save,
another
right?
one, and she gets to roll another dex saving throw.
Okay, I have advantage from change box, countered by a jar full of bees.
God.
Ooh, she got high on that one. That's a 19.
Okay, she saves.
So she did save for the fire.
roll the fire
Thank you for-
damage.
I should have just written down the original damage for this.
Yeah, we could just kept using it over and over. It was like 27 or something.
Keep rolling
I
it.
think it was 28, but yeah, I'll re-roll it because I didn't write it down.
It's fun to roll dice.
Oh shoot. Okay. All right. 8 plus 5 plus 2
15.
Oh man.
plus 3 plus 5.
23.
Halved.
11.
Persta's in death saving throws.
Okay.
I see her drop.
Yeah. Lily, you're up.
Would I have seen Persta
No,
drop?
sorry. Dredge just went, so James, you're up. Sorry.
Right. Okay, and the dredge is on top of me, literally. Oh my god. All right. First thing I will do, with this thing right on top of me, the Sharn Cha-Cha.
Yeah.
I'm gonna use both of my additional dagger attacks
Yeah. I don't see why
against
not.
this thing within range.
All right.
So James, face to face with this terrible demon, suddenly remembers Sharn on the deck of the Tardy Plunder and grabs. He does have a dagger. He carries it on him. He just doesn't use it. It just. Ah!
Yeah.
Okay. Advantage, disadvantage.
You have advantage from the Cosmic Lord, countered by Phage lives.
Phage lives. Okay. Nope. First one's an 8 to hit.
All right, miss. Jim Witted gives you advantage on the second, but it is countered by Meta Man saves the day.
Thank you, Meta Man. All right, the second one's a 24 to hit.
Yeah, it certainly hits.
Okay.
This thing is very badly injured, by the way.
For 6 damage.
Nice.
Those are free actions, yes?
Yes. That does not count against your economy at all.
Okay, great. Then I will use my action to, with my 3rd level spell slot, Armor of Agathis at 3rd level on myself.
Okay.
Giving myself 15 points of
Temporary hit points?
temp.
Yep.
Yep.
All right.
And
so
then,
the
yeah.
armor, this icy armor conforms around your body.
And James casts that, knows that he's going to get an attack of opportunity, but doesn't care because he saw Persta fall, and he's going to run for her.
All right. The attack of opportunity has an advantage from Changebox, countered by Goofus McDorkle. And it is. I rolled a natural 1. All right.
That
so
may-
you avoid that.
Crazily enough, that miss may have saved its life.
Yeah, you didn't. You wanted it to hit you, but it rolled a natural 1.
So James, with his movement, is pushing around these prisoners, saying, "Keep running," and sliding in the blood to get to Persta. I don't care if I'm prone. I'm literally just like, That's all my action. That's my turn. That's everything.
Okay.
So James will literally throw his body on top of her with the Armor of Agathis.
Okay. Great. So that brings us to bottom of the round. The prisoners and Persta, they're all going to keep running as they were told. This guy's going to get to here, roll his dex save there. This guy's going to have to roll his dex save, and this guy's going to have to roll his dex save. All of them have advantage from Changebox, though, so that's good.
Yay!
That's a pass. That's a pass. Oh, and that's a fail. All right, so third, this one stays on his feet. This one stays on their feet and keeps going. And this one falls prone right there. And then Persta is in death saving throw, so I have to roll her death saving throw.
She gets advantage.
Advantage from Changebox as well. First was a 7. Second is a 5. So
One fail. One fail.
fail.
It's okay. It's okay.
You have to
We got
fail
this.
3 death saving throws
That's right.
until you're dead.
All right, so we are back to the top of the round, Lily.
Okay, so I'm also gonna, because the demon's right up in my business, I'm gonna take out my dagger and do my cha-cha,
All right.
which is 2d4s. Is that what it was?
Yep.
Yep.
You have advantage on
You
the
have to
first
actually
attack from
Oh, yeah.
emotional reserve, and then the second one's a straight roll as far as I'm concerned.
1 second. Okay, the first attack is a... Where's my dagger? A dagger.
Amy, you'll be
Okay,
next.
So it's a 17. Does that hit? The
Yes.
first attack? Okay, and then my second attack
Yeah, girl.
is a straight roll. Oh, shoot. That's 14.
14 to hit.
14 misses, sorry.
Oh, that's okay. So 4 damage on the first one, though. So
All right.
And then the other one doesn't hit. So
All right. But those are free actions, so you still can do something
great.
else.
And so then I will
It's
used
already
its
also used its reaction, so.
yeah. So I'm going to, as a bonus action, attempt to grapple it again.
Okay.
So constitutive strength.
Yep.
Lead, demon.
I have advantage from shiny 8-bit boo. You have a straight roll.
Come on, Lily.
No, I rolled a nat 1. So
Oh, I rolled a 20. Not a nat 20, but a
beautiful.
30-20.
Yeah.
All right, so it does not get grappled.
Bigsby's hand just falls on the ground.
Yeah. It's tired.
Lily
tired,
is going to be like, "Ugh,"
More
and-
like Bigsby's foot, am I right?
Yeah. And that was just my bonus action. So I'm going to Bigsy's floor. I'm going to run over. I can move myself because Lily is grown up to Persta and cast Cure Wounds on her.
Okay.
Seems like she's not doing great.
It's true. She's not doing great.
So, spell abilities. I'm just gonna do it to start at level 1 because that's what we're at.
That's fine. That's fine.
All right.
Okay, but that's still 10 points. 10
Yep.
points of.
She's stabilized.
Okay. Great.
She's up.
Yeah, she's up.
Yeah.
She's not looking too hot, but she looks around and she says,
Thank you. But you
and
should have
then-
saved yourselves.
Magic can save lives too.
No. We got you. And then, I mean, that was only, what was that? 5, 10, 15. I'm just going to try and, like, drag her 5 more feet away from the demon if I can.
yeah, I would say she would be willing to do that, not
Like,
resist. And
I'm just trying to,
certainly
like, move her.
in
keep her
this
moving.
pool of slick blood, it's actually
Yeah.
quite easy for you to slide her along. Although you need to do, let's have you roll your dex save to make sure as you ran in to this, to make sure you didn't fall. You have a straight roll as far as I'm concerned to make sure you didn't fall before you got there. I would say you'd still be able to cast heal on prone. You can reach up and cast heal. 13, I don't believe gets it done. Let me double check. No, it's a 14 dex save.
Oh, Jeff, you and your, like, 1 or 2 points over me.
So
I fall into her,
yeah.
causing 1 more point of damage, but then healing her.
Yeah. All right. That brings us to Fahima's turn.
How does this demon look right now?
Very bad.
Very bad?
Yeah.
Cool.
It is seething and I mean part of it is burned and part of it is electrified. There are cracks in its carapace. The mandibles on its face are wriggling and writhing, but it does look very badly injured.
Okay. I don't know how this is gonna work because I don't have Meep on me, but Meep, Fahima will kind of like scream out in the air, Meep, where are you? And cast elemental, wait, what did I call this? Meep's, no, elemental fusion on the demon.
I am going to say, if we're going to give you the advantage of being able to cast it through Meep, then if Meep's not present, you can't cast it.
Well, Meep doesn't do anything extra for the spell. It's just
Oh, she
flavor.
doesn't? Is not the one that is transferred through her form?
No, she doesn't give it like any extra range or anything. It's just purely flavor. I would love to workshop that though sometime.
Maybe I'm not clear on which spell you're casting.
Also, familiars in general can be used to deliver spells.
This is just this is the one that is a reskin of it's the cylinder of radiant light. I forget what it's called originally.
Okay. All right.
Meep's birdcage? No.
No, that was a different one. I don't even know if I've used this one yet. Maybe
not
once.
the Steel Wind Strike one.
No, a different one.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say like, whoa, overkill.
Yeah, it's supposed to come from Meep as like a part of my spell for flavor, but she's not here, so.
Well, that's what I'm saying is that if the flavor that we've agreed on is that it comes from Meep, then if she's not there, then you can't cast it.
Oh man.
Because it's an advantage when she's there, right? That it comes from her wherever she is located on the map.
So I will get extra range when Meep is here because it's a 60-foot range spell.
I think that's the range of the spell, and that would be the range that Meep gives you.
Okay.
If the idea is that it happens through Meep, I think maybe you can't cast it without Meep. That's all.
All right. So in that case, if it looks really bad, then I'll just Thunderbolt jump over to it again to try to give it its final.
All right.
Final kill.
Sounds good.
And for that, I need to use my last 5th level spell slot because I used
Whoa.
my 4th. It doesn't change it. I just I have to use that slot, unfortunately. So.
All right. So I still have to roll the what is it? A con save?
Dex.
Yes.
Dex.
Or con? Dex. Okay.
All right.
Or I think it is con. I apologize.
I had advantage from Shiny 8-Bit Boo, so I got a 16.
No corpses over here, huh? Dang it.
There's blood right underneath it.
I don't think I can get to that with my movement, though, unfortunately, for both lands. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. No, I can't. Okay. Yep. All right. So you rolled a 16?
Yeah.
Okay, that doesn't save, but it has resistance. So I will roll my damage.
5th level, I think it's going to obliterate this thing.
Toast it.
Well, this particular one doesn't scale, unfortunately.
Well, that's because it probably goes so OP before.
Fair.
Yeah, I am leaving lightning damage in my wake, but I'm not next to anybody, so. All right, so that is, let's see, 12 plus 8 is 20, plus 6, 26.
It's already dead. It had 10 hit points, half of 26 already, 13 points of damage. As you arrive, you explode in a crackle of lightning, and this thing also explodes, pieces of it hitting the back walls of the prison. It's like a bug hit the bug zapper, and it just splats. And so you destroy the final dredge demon that's in the prison. All of you look around and see the copious amounts of blood and bodies that are left in the wake of this horrible attack. But the encounter is over, and the prisoners now are fully booking it out the door, up and around the stairs up here to get out.
Covered
None
in
of them were
blood.
violent
Covered in blood,
criminals.
slipping and sliding, falling, but just trying to get out of there.
Man.
Jorl walks up behind you, Fahimi, and he goes, "That was quite amazing."
Come on, Jorl. We gotta go.
And Persta gets to her feet and she says, "Let's get to the top." So, all of you are making your way. Sean, we can leave the map room now. All of you are making your way to the top. This prison, of course, is situated underground. Stairs lead to the.
I imagine Persta isn't doing great, so also like attempting to get her someplace where she can get like some medical help.
Right. Yeah, and I'll be standing in front of her. I kind of want her to lead the way, but if I don't want her to like walk into any like fire or anything like that. So
yeah, she's kind of is sort of pushing past you and walking up the stairs slowly, but with purpose and intent. And as you climb those stairs up from that subterranean prison and into the building on the surface, it is eerily empty. You pass numerous guards. You passed numerous guards here on the way down to the cells, but they are nowhere to be seen now. And Persta looks around at that in shock, seeing her well-managed guard post abandoned is a disturbing sight. And it clearly, she takes it in, and you see that not what she expected to see when she reached the top. These are disciplined troops who would not go AWOL on her. So she rushes forward, even in her injured state, and bursts through the doors out of the building and into the open air. You follow her.
Yeah.
By the way, the prisoners have already sort of scattered to the five winds. They've run out, freed of prison. They're just booking it.
Lily, could you use the earring to reach out to Torvald? But yeah, I'm not letting Persta get far without me. So.
All right. So, are all of you following Persta out of the building?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So as you emerge from the interior of the structure and into the streets, you immediately take in the carnage that has come to Turlis. The bloodbath underground in the prison was bad, but this is utter bedlam. You see where those guards from this building went. Several of their corpses litter the ground. There are people screaming and running through the streets in terror. In the sky above, winged creatures swoop and soar, filling the air with their hideous screeching. You see them pluck horrified citizens from the ground and rip them limb from limb, or dive down and slash at them with their claws. Rock and stone explodes from thunderous sonic bombardment as some of the demons blast down from above. Enormous divots in the cobblestone mar the once busy streets. Windows are shattered and buildings crumble. All around you, you see figures, people trapped in frozen expressions of horror, reacting to the claw attacks that petrified them into solid blocks of ice. Statues commemorating a war that is still ongoing. Persta's mouth is agape as she takes it all in. You have not known her long, but she certainly doesn't seem like the kind of woman to ever lose her composure. Between the empty top floor of the prison and the pandemonium of the city streets, you see a tiny crack, a moment of fear, real fear, that comes across her face. But just as quickly as it appears, it's gone. You see the training and the self-discipline take over. She turns to you confident and strong once again, resolute, a leader.
What do we do, Chief Regent?
We need magic. I fear your considerable talents will not be enough. We need to get to Nightstone. If I can command those mages, coordinate them, we may be able to mount a defense.
I tried to reach out to our friend using a spell, but he didn't respond. I'm afraid something's wrong. Lily, yeah, try to reach Torvald on the
I'm
earring.
already on it.
Okay, great.
I'm in contact with Meep as well. I can see through her eyes if she's within 1 mile of me.
And Lily has activated the earring as they were walking out.
Yeah, if you recall, you had talked to Torvald earlier as well, and he indicated that he was sort of organizing people at Nightstone, trying to get some sort of an organization, some sort of grouping together of the students there. Your ear gets hot again from that earring, and you hear him on the other side.
Yes. Is everything okay where you are?
We're out, but it's terrible over here. I don't know what it's like where you are.
It's terrible everywhere.
Where should we meet you?
We're staying here.
Okay.
Awaiting
We will come to
instruction.
you. We have Persa and James and Fahima and myself, Lily. We'll come to you.
I should tell you.
Okay.
That Shiv and Ago went running out into the city looking for Hermofish.
Where did they go?
I do not know. He was headed to you, as far as I know. But I don't know how far he got with this chaos.
Okay. Well, I am going to choose to believe that they're okay, and they're both extremely good fighters and smart. So that's where my head's at. We'll see you soon, okay? Let us know if you need anything.
Stay safe.
You too.
Look, if it cost a spell slot, I might think differently, but literally just hearing, like, Lily say that, I think James pulls out his book again and starts writing to Civ again, going, please tell me the last time was just a mistake and that you're all right. We're out of the prison. Where are you?
Does Meep see anything flying above? Is
Meep,
she tracking everybody?
I think she has, at this point, lost track. I mean, I think you could probably see a lot of the damage and destruction that's happening. If she went to Ugo and Civ, then she would be out of your range at this moment. If she stayed closer to where you are and where the center of the attacks were happening, then you would definitely get a sense of the level of this invasion, which is widespread and horrific.
What are you going to do?
I cast that sending to Civ, Jeff.
Yeah. So Civ, of course, it arrives as writing in your mind. It is not the same way that you get a sending from James, where it arrives as his voice. This time you sort of see words appear as if scrawled in some sort of invisible page in front of your eyes.
And I can respond, right?
You can.
I was frozen by a demon, carried to Orcish things, healed, on our way to prison to find you. With Ugo. Flesh is fine.
Okay, they're on their way from Orcish things. They're heading towards us. Persta, we need to head towards a place called Orcish things. Are you aware of it? And I'll start directing us in that way.
I believe it is a shop on the outskirts of town.
That's right.
Is this the wisest course, not to just proceed directly to Nightstone?
We need to rendezvous with our friends, and we'll be stronger
together. Is it far out of the way?
A bit, but I will trust you if you believe this is the wisest course of action.
I do.
James, do you think we should go farther that way?
Is it literally like one direction or the other, or where?
Pretty much. I mean, it's pretty much. Well, you're going to have to go to the outskirts of town, or you're going to have to go, to Nightstone, which is sort of in the center of city, but it's a bit of a ways from the prison.
Why not try to meet them at Nightstone? That is where we will all be the safest.
I'm confused, Jeff. Didn't you say that Nightstone and the prison were in the same general direction from where we're
from where you are? Yes. So, so it's sort of like like an acute angle from where you are, and then but from where they are, right? It's wider. The 2 points. Does that make sense?
Yeah. So you're saying the hypotenuse is really what the problem is here?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
So the two points that you're thinking about are different than the 2 points they're thinking about.
I get it. So the distance for us to go to Nightstone or the prison is more or less the same, but the distance for them to go to Nightstone is much shorter than it would be for them to go to Orcish things.
Correct.
Got it. Okay.
All right. Listen, I think we should get together, but maybe you're right, and they can probably.
I agree too, but I think if they can quickly make their way to Nightstone, and we can make our way to Nightstone, that's where Persta can get healed.
Okay.
James, between you and me, she's not looking great.
I know. Okay, you're right.
And I don't have much healing power left at this point, so.
Okay, you're right.
Jorl, did you get some soup on your way out?
No, I did not. I am so hungry, but I understand that my desire for food is very low on the priority list.
Please try to stay quiet. We're trying to hide from demons, but
oh,
yes,
I'm sorry.
It's all right. All right, I will start writing again to Civ. Meet us at Nightstone. We're heading there. We have Persta. We have Jorl. Please be safe.
Okay, Jeff.
Yeah.
I know this is your favorite question, but what is the distance from where we are currently at to Nightstone? Like, how much time do I think it's going to take for us to get there if we are being sneaky and going from alleyway to alleyway and awning to awning to avoid fighting demons?
Well, that'll slow you down considerably, right? So I would say you're approaching an hour doing it that way.
Okay. Then that's exactly what I'm going to say. I'm going to pull out the hilt, and I'm going to be twirling that in my hand as we're sneaking that direction. And I'm going to be saying back to James, it is going to take us an hour to make our way back to Nightstone so that we don't have to fight demons on the way. But we are traveling that direction now.
All right, I'll check in with you every 10 minutes.
Are you like, seriously, Civ's just twirling the thing in his hands?
I'm getting used to the grip. Yeah. I'm attuning myself to it, dude.
You have to stop and concentrate.
Yeah, it has to be a short rest.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's why I
that's
said
the-
we should rest. That's literally why I said that.
Okay, well, Civ doesn't know that. So
Yeah, I mean,
he's-
Yep.
He's still doing what he's doing.
Yep.
All right.
All right.
Yes. All right. So yes, tonight, Stone Persta, please. I'm honestly guarding Persta like we're her secret service, so she should stay in the middle.
Yeah.
Her and Jorl stay in the middle.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. So you do kind of group up around Persta, and it is a phalanx that you are moving through this city. There are screeching screams. There are explosions happening around you. I mean, it is that scene in every war movie where they're trying to move through the battlefield, and it's a horrible sight. And every new sound or violent act, you see Persta tense up, and the weight of her city being under attack like this and her unable to rally her troops, you move and see bodies of guards, her guards, as you pass by them, and each time you pass it, she looks down and notes it and looks up at the heavens and keeps moving. It is slow going, it is methodical. Yes?
If we're passing anybody who looks alive, James will spare the dying on anybody. If there's any live guards, honestly, I'll be like, come with us. Follow, we're going to Nightstone.
Yeah.
Gosh.
As you move forward, you are mostly passing dead bodies, but you are heading toward a center of more action where there is actually, engagements, battles, fighting happening out ahead of you. And as you move that direction, that's where we're going to go to intermission. So both of our two factions of the team are headed to converge at Nightstone Abbey, trying to move right now through a very difficult situation, a city that is under siege by a
Jeff,
demonic invasion.
I have a quick question for you before we go to break. Does Turlis have sewers?
Yeah, it does. It's a big city. It absolutely does.
Okay,
have sewers.
then that's what I would do. I would just stop and I'll go down into the sewers.
This will be a discussion for after intermission.
All right.
All right. So stick around. Let me see if need to note anything before we go. We got a team Force of Good at 96% right now. Woo. Team Force of Evil at 4%. Thank you for all of the donations so far. It is greatly appreciated. We'll be back after a very brief intermission. Hope to see you. And we're back.
Woo!
Thank you for sticking with us through intermission. The stakes are still very high. Things are still amped up as the team attempts to reunite. But before we get back to that, I understand there's been a request to see the new merch shirt that a couple of our cast members are wearing.
Ooh.
It's called the Friends of Heroes of Bingle shirt.
Now we should note that this was a misprint.
I have no idea who did that.
Don't admit that.
This is not available in the store.
No, this one comes with an
Special
extra
edition.
bonus ampersand that you only paid for 4 ampersands and you got 5.
Yeah. And
Buy now, get a
Dot,
special
dot, dot.
ampersand.
These are not available in stores. The 4 ampersand version, the correct one, is available in our store right now. Ron printed up ones just for the cast. That I like to think the extra ampersand was for me somewhere,
So we
but
didn't put you
no,
on the back.
no,
Wanted to
nowhere
put you
be
on the
found.
shirt. Wait a minute. Wait a minute, Jeff Canada. Don't woe is me this. We wanted to put you on the shirt. You're like,
That
no,
is
it should be
correct.
there.
did.
We did discuss it.
I did think it should be just the characters. That was my call. But when there's an extra ampersand, I went, oh, maybe no, okay, all right.
That ampersand's all right.
I'm kidding.
and Jorl.
we could have put literally everyone else on the back, but then that increases the price of the shirt. and we didn't-
Yeah, nobody wants that. Nobody wants it. It is a great shirt, though. I love it,
great
and I
shirt.
can't wait to get mine.
It's a classic.
All right, so we are back in it. The team of Ugo and Civ. I believe there was some debate as to whether we were going into the sewers before intermission.
Yeah, I mean, I guess my thought process is all we've seen thus far are flying demons. We don't know about the burrowing demons. So
No, we don't. You're right.
logically, I think Civ would go, well, we can just go underground as long as I can tell which direction Nightstone is underground.
We met demons in Turlis that were in the sewers, and that went about as good as we are right now.
Yes, I know. I'm not saying it is a great plan. I'm just saying we won't have to deal with the ice demons this way.
Did you talk to James just now?
Yes, he was writing in the book.
What'd
He
he
still
say?
has my name. He says they are going to Nightstone.
Well, if we do that in the sewers, they won't see us if they are heading there.
They aren't going to see us anyways. They are going from the prison. It is much closer to Nightstone than where we are currently. We are much
Okay.
further away, my friend. We have
Guys, I'm sorry to interrupt, but I kind of have to interrupt because Down to Clown just dropped 5 evil yams.
Down to
Whoa.
clown.
Yeah.
I thought we were clear that we're not down to clown.
No, you guys now have.
I'm down to
Yeah.
clown now.
It's like
I
a
guess we're
demon
now
just
down to
swooped
clown, I
in.
guess.
Yeah.
Grabbed one
Team
of us.
Force of Evil, what a swing. Team Force of Evil is now at 70%. Team Force of Good, 30%.
Whoa,
Just in
down
one fell
to
swoop, so.
clown.
Holy smokes.
Thank you for that extraordinarily generous.
Incredible.
I certainly have no
donation.
reason to go into the sewer.
I think you'll
Civ, you
find-
are. I will trust you.
I'm not particularly excited about going into the sewer
Oh,
myself.
Fetch is with us?
I thought you brought him along.
I
right?
thought we left him there.
Yeah,
with,
no. I thought we left him with the.
Didn't he say he could help? Didn't he
Oh,
say
we did.
Yes.
Oh, he did. I didn't.
If
I
he-
didn't translate that to he was coming.
Yes.
with us.
If he-
That
if you
makes
weren't-
sense.
No,
All
no.
right.
If he followed
I
us
love
on
that
his own
Civ and
accord-
Ugo were like, doing here?
It's true. If
he pops up out of the bag of holding?
I've been
Yeah.
here the whole time.
If he followed us on his own accord, that's his choice. But I don't think Ugo or I, after what we've been through, would be like, "Hey, you're coming with us."
Come with us, old man.
Yeah.
That whole speech you just gave about you were right and you could do more. Felt like that was really
You're right.
beautiful piece of writing.
And then I eventually like turned and ran out the door. So.
Okay, all right. Fesh left in the dust. He is staying in the basement underneath Orcish things, hanging out with this orc that he already established he has a kind of a sketchy relationship with.
Oh, do you want to go out on the street, Fetch?
All right. All right, we're gonna do an entire scene in that basement. And he's like,
So, read any good books lately?
no. All right.
No,
so-
because you prevent me from going anywhere.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
all right. So So you have decided you are going in the sewers or not going in the sewers?
Here's what I need to know. I need to know if we have seen any of these burrowing demons at all throughout our entire time in the city going back and forth, or if I poke my head down into the sewers, do I see any signs of demons? Because if not, then we would go down into the sewers.
Let's let the dice decide. Roll me a survival check, both of you. Civ, you have advantage from That's Wild Man, and Ugo, you have advantage from Drew from IT.
Thanks, Drew from it.
Oh, that's a good roll.
Nat 20.
Oh,
Nat
that's
20.
An even better roll.
All right. So both of you did note strange holes, almost like gopher holes, but at a scale and size that denotes something much larger than a gopher.
Yeah, then we're not going underground.
Somebody else has a belt like me. Oh, there's demons.
Yeah.
All right.
So we see the demon tracks, we see the holes, we're like, okay, that's a bad idea. And we're just going to continue doing what we are doing, which is going building to building, alleyway to alleyway, awning to awning, stealthing the whole way.
All right. So roll me a stealth check. Civ, you have advantage from Jim-Witted. Ugo, you have advantage from Goofus McDorkle.
That's just a straight roll for me.
Oh,
no.
You don't have the armor on.
Yeah, I got
you
out
took
of
the
it.
armor
That's right.
off.
I did.
Yeah, because we needed to haul.
Yeah.
24.
Nice.
All right.
17.
Sweet.
Okay. So you are moving through the city. Again, it is difficult to push the sounds and sights out of your minds as you move, trying to stay hidden, trying to stay safe. It is loud. It is horrible. It is the sound of a city trying to defend itself futilely from invaders from above. And you move through the city slower than you would normally do. Civ, you say you're twirling the hilt, the Godslayer blade hilt.
Yeah, I'm getting used to the grip and getting used to just holding it in my hand. I guess I'm gonna have to attune it later because Civ doesn't know that. He doesn't know that he needs to sit and concentrate on it because he's not Fahima. So he's just getting used to the blade in his hand at this point. Or the
you did have the experience with your bow, right? Your magic bow you had to attune, didn't you? Or no?
Yes, but I think I had that identified by Fahima, and she told me that.
Okay.
So.
All right. So you guys are moving through the city.
That's actually a great game mechanics question. Do we know when an item needs to be attuned if we're not a wizard? Can I pick up a magical item and look at it and go, this is magical and I need to attune to it?
Yes, if you spend an hour during a short rest with the item. That's the 5e explanation for that.
Great.
But that process can't be the same process as attuning it.
Right.
They make that very clear in the rules that you have to.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great. Then Civ doesn't know that, so he's just like,
I'm gonna use this thing.
Yeah.
All right. So meanwhile, the other group, are you guys also attempting? I know you've created that sort of phalanx. You're protecting Persta, but are you trying to move stealthily through the city?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. So let's all roll stealth. Fahima, you have advantage from Gateway Guy, countered by Persta will haunt you.
No.
Whoa.
James, you have advantage from Emotional Reserve.
We're not letting her die. We're not letting the Persta die.
Lily, you have a straight roll.
Okay.
Maybe she deserves to die.
Yeah. How many
Clearly
people have died on her watch?
A lot.
Yep.
More than she would like.
Yep. And I'm talking even before the demons.
13.
Ooh, 13, okay.
What's the name of this episode? Karma.
What's the name of my dog?
14?
25.
25.
Whoa!
All right, so
Jorl rolled in that one.
Yeah, Jorl's like, this is great. We're moving so quietly.
Quiet.
So you are noisier than you would like. Persta, of course, wearing heavy armor, plate mail armor, is also a little noisier than you would like. But you're trying to stay as inconspicuous as possible. There are moments where the demons swoop lower, closer than you would like, but doesn't seem to be the case that they spot you, and you will note them moving through the city, blasting, breaking things up, grabbing people. At times, you'll see a winged demon carrying something, maybe a piece of a person. It's a terrible journey through the city as you move.
Are we able to tell if the demons are, like, James is watching them, are we able to tell if they're concentrated in any one particular area, if they seem to be, do they seem coordinated like they may have seemed before? Do they seem to be heading somewhere?
Roll me a survival check. We'll do for that. You got advantage from David Gen Pro.
Thank you, David Gen Pro. Okay. Yeah. 14.
So I think you would pick up from their movements. There's definitely a section of the city that seems to be a hotbed of activity. And it is very near where you are. It is very near that prisons section, the sort of center of the city, the most metropolitan part of the city.
What do I know about that section of the city, besides the most people?
I mean, that's where Persta's barracks are. That's where the jail is. That's right. That is where the most people are. That's where the bank, was that you went to. I mean, it's where most of the sort of big business, central of the metropolis that is Turlis.
Got it.
The other thing that I think you would know from a 14 is that as you're moving through the city, slowly observing heightened senses, trying to pick up any kind of clues you can, trying to piece together whether they are concentrated, what they're attempting to do, there is a level of just sort of general destruction and malice that's at play, that is observable, but also you pick up on a sense that maybe they're even searching for something, that they are canvassing this city.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't like that.
All right. So you two are also moving over time, getting closer, not engaging in any fighting, observing what you can, getting closer and closer. Civ and Uggo, roll me a perception check. Civ, you have advantage from Goofus McDorkle. Uggo, straight roll.
Perception, you said?
Yeah.
17.
4.
Okay. Uggo, you're oblivious to this. But Civ, as you're moving through the city, and this horrible chaos is happening around you, these winged creatures are moving about, you start to pick up on some other movement. Nearer. Smaller. Birds landing around you. Flying black-winged birds. Crows.
It's the Lord of Crows.
It's nothing that you are perhaps alarmed by at first. It's just something you notice.
Well, I would notice it because I would think most of the time crows would flee if there's a bunch of demons in the air.
Indeed.
It's a bigger predator, and these aren't fleeing, right? They're just hanging out.
That's right.
Yeah, I'm going to point out one of the crows to Uggo and say, there are spies. We have to avoid the crows just as much as the demons. Keep your eyes peeled.
There are crows?
Yes, crows. I point out one of the crows. We have to stay hidden.
The Lord is here.
Yes.
But I thought we took care of him.
No, he flew away. Remember? I carried the boy to the waters.
He was banished. He actually got banished, but he can return.
I thought he flew off, didn't he?
He did.
You encountered him twice, and you found him again at the lighthouse. Again, this was 22 years ago.
Right.
And then at the lighthouse, James did banish him.
Got it. You're right. Forgot about that. Yeah, so now we have crows on the list as far as things that we're trying to avoid seeing us.
Yeah.
Jeff deep with the deep cuts tonight.
All right. So
I'm gonna also, because they're crows, I'm also going to take out a throwing dagger so that worst case scenario, if we get spotted, I can try to kill it before it warns.
Yeah, when he pulls out one, Uggo also unsheathes one of his.
Yeah.
All right.
throwing hammers.
Definitely not going to pick a fight. I just want to be able to have that as an option if we get spotted.
Right. This slows you down even more, moving, trying to avoid the gaze of these crows that are eerily serene. They, as you pointed out, Jared, they don't seem to be affected by this find on a tranquil Sunday afternoon, birds landing on the rooftops, fluttering here and there.
Are they even picking at the corpses? Or are they ignoring the corpses?
They're ignoring the corpses.
Oh, yeah. Those are some serious demon birds.
All right. So because you are slowed, the other half of our team arrives back at Nightstone first. And as you arrive at the gates of the Abbey, the guards who normally stand by are long gone. There are large holes where bits of the exterior walls have been blasted away. Clearly, the demons struck the facade of this building, but its structure seems to be intact. A safe place for the students and faculty to remain. You're staring at the exterior wall.
All right.
Yes, we should go in. I believe it is calm.
Yes.
So just inside the walls, you turn the corner and move into the sort of chamber, through this lovely courtyard that is the entrance of Nightstone that you've moved through many times now. You move into the entrance to the Abbey itself, and you see immediately a massive assembly. A sea of beige robes, students, teachers. James, you spot Nance among them. They are waiting, looking for instruction, still in this extreme situation, reluctant as a group to violate the moratorium. And standing near the back of that mass of bodies, helping to organize but staying safely away from any exposed position, is Torvald the Timid. And as you turn the corner, there's a reaction among dozens and dozens of students who are there. There's a reaction of some movement of some new intruder into their space, and then a realization that it is the humans. Although I don't think James looks like one particularly right this second. But they do see Persta Samuels walking in the center of your little formation, and she nods at all of them as you arrive.
I'll approach Torvald and Nance if I can.
Yeah.
James! Oh, I'm so glad you're all right. Yes, I'm glad you made it back safely. We've been hoping that you would be able to give us some sort of good news. Oh, what it is like out there.
It is...
He's shaking, trembling.
It's all right. It's all right. It's not all right, but we'll do what we can. Out there is chaos and violence.
Did you see Fesh?
No, but I spoke to Civ, and they're headed this way. Fesh is safe, but we barely got out of that prison alive. Persta's here, and she is dropping a moratorium for now. Seemingly, we've used all this magic to get out of the prison and across the city. I'm basically kind of side-eyeing her.
She walks up to you. In fact, all of you standing there, sort of in a semicircle, all the students milling about, waiting anxiously. And she says,
I believe this is where we will make our last stand. I believe we can mount a defense here and move outward. If we can reclaim the city using magic. I think the numbers here seem to give us a fighting chance. Is that something you would agree with?
I think so.
Yes, I think we're stronger together.
Yeah.
I know that we've had our differences and you've not found the treatment in this city to be optimal. But I want you to know that in this moment that your deeds inside the prison account for something. And I'm going to need everyone that I can get who is capable and willing.
You'll get it. We're all just doing our best.
She nods.
If there is anything any of you need to do, now is the time to prepare.
Yes, I will need a bit of a rest before
I wouldn't
go
mind a
back
short
into-
rest. Yeah, I mean, are the demons so it's fairly safe-ish in the courtyard for the moment? Yes, or I mean,
Well, I need a
No,
long
you're
rest.
inside Nightstone walls, which seem to be fairly, like I said, there was some blasts on the exterior facade, but it seems to be a relatively encamped place where, you know, as the demon scourge is happening farther into the city, there seems to be this brief respite here.
all right. I mean, I think we need some form of rest. I don't know if a long one is going to suffice, but
How much time do we have?
I mean, that's up to you. I don't know what
What
you mean
time of
by
day
that
is
question.
it, I guess?
It's getting dusk. It is the sun is lowering in the sky.
Do you plan to go out tonight and try to fight?
That is a good question. Maybe we should think on it. And part of me wants to prevent as much death and destruction as we can now.
Is there a way
Another
to
part of me
communicate?
feels... Sorry, what?
No, I didn't mean to interrupt, but is there a way to communicate to the city, to the people?
No. I believe we must communicate with our actions, with our heroism, with our defense of this city. Hopefully, those wise enough and able are able to stay sheltered in place, stay hidden and safe as they can, and we will move through the city methodically and try to save as many as we can, but first we must deal with the threat raining down upon us.
If I could just rest for an hour, that would be enough. Not the best, but enough.
we need to wait for Uggo and Civ to get back here as well. We'll be stronger. We'll be at full force then. But yes, I mean,
Your companions.
yes.
Yes. I'll be honest, I'm quite depleted until I have a long rest, but
Okay.
I don't know if we have time for a full night's sleep.
I
It feels...
do.
All right. Are there any Torvald, anyone, are there healing potions around? Anything that we can use ourselves or give to others as we make our way through the city? Could someone start gathering any items that can help?
Yes, I'll happily do that. I can find a number of potions in the
Great.
grounds.
Thank you. Anything.
We've already been gathering the students together and trying to coordinate some sort of groupings, squads, battalions, if you will.
Okay. All right.
That is wise.
And that's about the time that Civ and Uggo, you two notice the same thing as you arrive at the courtyard in front of Nightstone Abbey. It is eerily vacant of the guards and the people that you would often see there. And the exterior seems to have been attacked, but the structures are all standing, and there seems to be a level of security just beyond the walls.
Do we notice, since we've been traveling that way, that the demons and the crows get lighter or heavier as we're going to Nightstone?
Heavier.
Okay, so the closer we get to the prison in Nightstone, the worse it gets. The further away we were in Orcish things, the lighter it is.
Yeah.
Okay. And we didn't see the Lord of Crows when we were traveling that way, right? We just saw crows.
Correct.
Okay. I would sneak and hopefully sneak Uggo into the building relatively unseen. I mean, I don't even know if I would want to deal with guards at this point.
We know a back entranceway, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'd like to go in the way we went out back in the day when we were.
Guards aren't even there anymore.
The guards aren't at the gates. That's why you notice that it is eerily empty at the front gate. But if you want to still go through the back, that's fine.
Yeah, well, eerily empty definitely gives me a pause of. Well, I mean.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we would go in the back entrance regardless.
Okay.
So
roll me a stealth check. You have advantage from Kitty Scritches, Civ, and Uggo. You have a straight roll.
Thanks, Kitty Scritches. That's pretty good. 32.
32. Yeah, you go through the back entrance. No one hears you. None of your companions hear you. And as you get closer to the to where as you move through this back entrance, another thing you notice is it's empty. It's weird. There's no one here in this section of the Abbey. It is empty.
And these demons aren't attacking like strategically, right? It's just a mass of demons that are just randomly attacking all over the place, or does it seem like there's an actual front to the army?
From what you've seen, it seems like just a chaos in the sky that is raining down havoc from above. I mean,
so we haven't seen any of them like break into homes or like.
No, I mean you've definitely seen them destroy buildings and break things, and but I don't think you've seen any kind of systematic,
If it's
plan.
If it's been too long, James would write another message to Civ, letting him know we'd arrived in Nightstone and that.
Where are you in Nightstone? Because I think we would go back to Fesh's office.
No, yeah, okay. I mean, yeah.
There's a courtyard in front, and then there's sort of like this entry area, sort of if you can imagine like a grand entrance into a university, past the walls, past the front walls. That's where everyone is congregated. So inside a building, but it's a large foyer, basically.
Well, gathering forces, come to the courtyard. Yes.
We were going to Fesh's office to get Meep. That is where we left her. But we will come to the courtyard next.
Okay, and I'll turn to Fahima and go, Meep is in Fesh's office. Call to her. She'll probably come to you now.
Why is she in Fesh's office?
That must have been where they left her to stay safe.
I mean, we'd established that she'd been flying around above the city.
Civ is just functioning on the knowledge.
Got it. Oh, okay. Got it.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm RPing what Civ knows, which is not much.
Okay, understood.
I would be going there as well because there's a certain little teacup wizard as well that I don't know if I would want to just leave behind.
Yeah, I mean, if you get to Fesh's office, you'll be unable to find her, but that is not necessarily. I mean, she's very small, so it would be difficult to find her anyway. But yeah, you do not see her anywhere.
Okay,
where is everyone?
I think they are all in the courtyard. That is what James is saying in my head.
Oh.
I don't know why they are all congregating there. It is very dangerous to be out in the open with flying demons.
Well, we are close.
No, again, they're not in. There's a courtyard in front of the. I don't know if this is you being confused as Jared or as Civ, but there's a courtyard in front of the building. Past the walls, there is an interior area.
Right. It's enclosed.
Correct.
I see. Yes. That was
wherever
Civ and Jared being confused.
Fair enough.
And possibly me as well. So wherever we are, that is
okay. Yeah. I will go to the foyer.
It's basically like everybody's in the gym. Everybody's waiting in the gym in the multi-purpose room.
Like a hurricane.
Exactly. It's emergency procedures. Everybody's huddled together, waiting for some instruction as to what to do next. Sure. That's what's happening. Yeah.
Okay. Meep will step out then and go call for Meep, because I think Meep would be looking pretty actively.
Yeah, there is certainly a red streak in the sky as you call out to her, and she flies down eyes wide with terror, mind full of imagery similar to the kind that you've been experiencing on your way back here.
Oh, Meep, it's all right.
Meep, 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 meep.
It's okay. I wonder if I can teach you how to heal, because I really sure could use it right now. Well, you don't have to hide anymore. You can just fly in with me. Are you okay? She'll inspect Meep.
She seems to be unharmed. Meep.
Good job.
Stephen Ugo, you're moving now toward that area, and as you arrive, you see just this congregation of students, faculty. You spy your friends toward the front of the pack, standing near Persta Samuels and Torvald the Timid.
Am I still blue?
You are indeed.
Okay.
I'll go.
I'm gonna rush right up to Lily and hug her. Are you okay?
Are you? I was gonna Jinx.
He's a little sad.
I'll give Ugo a hug.
Yeah, because he's blue.
Oh, you are blue. What
I
happened?
was frozen by one of the demons, and Ugo took
I
me
lost him.
to a cleric.
But you're okay. You don't feel cold.
Flora, brain not working.
Breathe.
Floryog.
Floryog. When we were just at Orcish Things.
And Ugo explains what happened at Orcish Things.
Orcish things. Oh, the flyer.
That's incredible.
Also, there are crows. And what is she doing here?
Yeah, I'm handing out everybody's magical gear, whatever they gave me, and I'm staring daggers at Persta.
There's no time for that right now, all right? She's going to help us, and we can deal with that once we deal with the greater threat, which is the demons and the crows.
What is the plan? Why is everyone here in this foyer? This is
Persta.
We will
very
mount a
dangerous.
defense. We will mount a defense of this city, and I am here.
Who put you in charge?
The good
Why should we
citizens of my
listen to you?
city.
So,
I am here to ask you humbly for your cooperation and aid.
Do you
If
have
you-
anything that could help us? I'm quite fatigued from that fight. I really didn't think I would be jumping right into battle again. Do you have any sort of anything for magic users? Scrolls, wands?
this is a magic school. Don't they have something here in the library?
I wish Fish was with us. You would know, but I don't know of any specific
James,
wands or-
can't you contact him?
Not at the moment.
Ernst went looking for
He is at
potions.
Orcish Things.
Okay.
Ernst went looking for potions, and so I'm sure we'll be able to. She seemed to think there were a number of those, but
Good.
we have the assembled might of the students of this facility.
James,
Yes.
there are crows.
Yes,
I heard you
the Lord
say
of
that.
Crows is here.
Are you sure?
They are not normal crows. They are not even feasting on the dead. And they are looking for something. And they are not afraid of the demons.
Any
Yeah,
indication of what they're congregating around?
No, they are looking for something, just
got-
like the demons are.
I got the same sense as we were heading across the city. They're definitely looking for something.
I
Does
think they are
anyone know
looking
what
for
they're
this, and I hold up the
Yes.
amulet, and I give it over to Lily, or this, and I hold up the hilt. I
Everyone
think that
needs
is
to
what they're looking for.
Everyone needs to sit down right now and take a rest. We're not going anywhere until at least we get an hour of short rest.
Well, hold on a second. Are we even allowed to use all these magical things?
And Ugo
Yes.
stares
Okay.
at Persta.
Yes, I'll go.
In defense
Oh,
of
how
this city.
convenient!
And then he sits down and starts eating and doing push-ups.
Your friends, your friends,
Spite push-ups.
your friends who were brave enough to speak to me instead of running from their accusations.
I pull out a
All
dagger.
right. All right.
No,
all
no,
right.
no.
Say one more
no.
word.
All right.
Say one
all
more
right,
word.
All right. All right.
We do not have time for this. We are the only chance this whole city has against whatever it is out there. So if we're fighting, those demons and those crows are going to win. So we have no time for this. Right now. Okay?
Fine.
Were
But
there
after this is over, she is going to pay for her sins. I will
you-
wreak
and you-
judgment on you.
Civ.
Save the
and you
judgment
stand
for bigger
before me
enemies.
without sins, I assume.
I will show you sins. I will show you your sins. They are buried over in the courtyard.
Perhaps this is not the kind of alliance that I would seek out. You are free to go, flee the city. We will defend it ourselves.
I don't have to listen to you. Your rules mean nothing to me. Your
That is
laws
clear.
mean nothing to me.
Excuse me, I know that this is not my argument, but we have an extremely dangerous situation in our midst.
We don't need her.
Civ,
We
And
could do
I
this on our own.
Civ,
and I don't
we
need more danger by my
everybody right
side.
now. We literally need everybody right now. We don't know what this is. We don't know how many there are. We need everybody who can help. This isn't about us. This is bigger than us. This isn't about our grudges or our sins or whatever. It's about all the people out there who are hiding in their houses, who are scared, who don't know they can use magic, who don't know what to do. We are their only hope. So can we put aside our own personal differences right now and work as one?
I was led to believe that I could
Said
trust
fine.
you.
I'm not taking orders from you, but I will help. Because that is what a good person does.
Team, can I have a bit of a huddle over to the side for a minute? Sorry, Persta.
No.
Hi, just come here for a minute.
Am I part of this?
Joral, I'm so glad.
Yes.
Joral's
Yes.
alive.
Oh, Joro!
Am I part of the team, or have I once again
Joral, come
been
here.
demoted and
Joral?
pushed to the side?
Joral, can you just use your indoor voice then, and you can join the huddle? But we can't have you screaming it.
Oh, sorry, I forgot. I'm sorry. Yes, demons out there. Yes, life is
Okay,
pain.
you know what? We're just going to fill you in afterwards. How about that?
Joral, are there any magical items? Is there any sort of work that you can do with creation of magical items? Anything you could possibly find here that you could craft in a short amount of time that could be of use?
Like less
Does
than an
anyone
hour?
happen to have any mithril?
No, I mean, not that I know of. Maybe.
Then no.
Okay, great.
Jeff, is there any people from the Abbey that are nearby other than Persta?
All of the people from the Abbey.
I mean,
are
is there
nearby.
someone that what I want to do is Lily wants to pull someone aside and be like, listen, we need
I'm
to
pulling
get
you
this
into a
man.
huddle.
I know, but I just really quickly,
Yeah,
I'm
I think
on my
that's
way
fair.
to it. I just want to say, can someone grab Joral a warm meal? Like, and
Yeah, I
like
think
kind of like.
you get a couple of students who bring, and it seems like there has been a number of instances of people being brought in off the street and given shelter here in the Abbey. So it's
Joral,
he's not a unique case.
Go refresh with food, and we'll touch base with you in one moment. If Fahima has something we need to talk to about.
So glad you're okay, Joral. So glad you're okay.
Happy to be part of the team.
Great.
Okay,
Okay,
Fahima.
sorry, huddling.
Okay, I just want everyone to keep a really open mind here as I talk to you. I just wanted to introduce the possibility of not fighting with Turlis.
What?
Hear me out. I just think, look at me. And she's covered in lots and lots of blood. All of her clothing is soaked. She's got a bum elbow. She's limping. That fight was horrible for everyone. We're about to go into a city filled with them? That was 3. And I understand that we're part of a group of people, a war, an army, rather, going against these demons, but I just don't know if it's the smartest decision for us to risk our lives when we have something so much bigger at stake.
I think we can do it. I think we need to have a surgical attack team. And if the wizards help us, we could do it. Something is leading them. Something is giving them commands.
Additionally,
They're looking for something.
that's true. I think that there could be much knowledge to be gained by staying here, figuring out why the Lord of Crows might be here, why the demons are attacking the city, to prevent them from getting whatever it is they're getting. But at the same time, time is of the essence. And I'm just saying, I think there is an argument that there's no time to sit here and strategize. Fighting a horde of demons in a city that has hundreds of people who can do that.
Fahima. Bingle.
I think that's the end of what he said.
No, that was the whole argument.
Okay.
I understand, Fahima. I know. But this is what we need to do. Part of the city's problem is what I've done.
Well,
Part of the reason that the city is in the current state is in is because of the moratorium, which was based there off of something that I did.
She did that.
I'm
Not you.
Not arguing that with you, but I'm just saying, and I'm not saying all that's out there is my responsibility, but I am saying that I do care and I am invested in this city.
What is your response to my worry that we'll die? That is my main concern.
Argo has had a revelation. While you were gone, I wish you were there. Think about it. We went back in time to see something. We met the Lord of Crows. Argo told an orc about the Candle Queen. And now, here, in this city, as the Lord of Crows attacks it, I assume, Argo meets that same orc by chance when he needs help. The Candle Queen is with us.
If we're going to do this, if we're going to keep protecting Ain, we need Turlis.
Well, for the sake of listening to Fahima fully, what would you say that we do, Fahima, if we didn't stay in the fight?
I think first we'd have to agree that their chances of winning the fight without us are still probable. We'd have to agree on that. Which I think could be possible.
I don't know if I agree.
Well, that's just one part of our plan. Keep going.
Secondly, we move north. We remain in contact with those who we should here. But we move north. We go to the grave.
I don't think we could live with ourselves if we left these people to die.
We're not leaving them to die. They can defend themselves.
With what? Some
With
students? She looks like she is almost half dead. And she is a terrible leader. I think we should take these wizards and lead them. I say we take the fight to the demons, we find who is in charge, and we kill them. We destroy them. For good this time.
We cut off the head of the Lord of Crows.
Yes. Destroy them.
I guess I've just felt that sometimes we're better used as a brain than as brawn.
I agree that there is a chance that if we leave this city, they will come after us. They will track us because they are coming after the amulet or the hilt or whatever. I agree. That is not a terrible idea. But if we are wrong and they are looking for something else, they are going to rip this city apart. Everyone here will die.
There's a way we could tell what they're after. I could find out.
How long do we anticipate this will take? Because I don't think it's going to happen overnight.
Fahima, some things are just as important. We cannot let this city be completely destroyed. I know time is of the essence, and we will get moving. But we need to at least turn the tide of this battle and show them what's possible.
Give them hope. Perhaps there are people hiding inside of their homes that could help us. I know the Orcish thing, there is a priest there, there is a wizard there. If we blaze a trail, there will be other people that will join our cause.
My dad is still out there.
I know.
I just don't want to die.
I won't let that happen.
Fahima. I am terrified. I ran from a fight because I was listening to what my family told me. I am afraid to die. My chapter with the Candle Queen has just begun. But how could I face her if I did not help these people, even when I am terrified, I could not live with myself. I already feel so bad about running and letting you be chained. We must stay, Fahima. These people must know what hope is and what good leadership is, and not those who will be left to die and rot because they are poor.
I think Fahima does have a point, though. If the battle turns and things start going poorly for us, and everyone around us starts to die, we need to at least try to escape. I'm not saying that is going to happen. I'm just saying it is nice to have alternatives.
I will need to rest, but I can leave. I can leave enough energy to cast a teleportation circle so that we can escape. Last case, in an emergency. And the reason I wanted to have this conversation now is because I know how I am when I get into fights. I know that I throw myself, I run through my own wall of fire to hurt the monster that we're fighting. I know that once we're in it, it's so hard to leave. But I agree, I would.
Oh.
I'd like to agree with you all now that we won't die here. And if that means running, healing each other first, then I think that's what it will take.
Watch each other's backs.
And I'd like to add to that, watch your own back. We have a lot of people in this group who like to say, I will die then. And I don't think that's helpful in a lot of situations.
It is if you all can live.
Perhaps, but I don't think that's often the situation in which it is said.
Matter of disagreement.
I think our pride sometimes comes into play within these situations, and at this point, our usefulness in this world is bigger than us. So
I don't think we should let Persta lead the wizards.
No.
Persta has betrayed magic. And if
Are
we are
sure
going to
that
if we are going to use magic to destroy these demons, we need to be the ones that brings hope. We need to lead them.
Has anyone considered that maybe Persta is or in cahoots with the Lord of Crows?
She's not.
How do you know?
we saw her in the prison.
Yeah.
She was ready to sacrifice herself to save the prisoners there at the bottom. I'm not excusing what she's done, but she's a flawed person.
I'll give you an example that I think really sums her up. When she found out the prisoners had been eating rat feces, she was very upset. And she made them all the next day be served a delicious stew.
Did she free Jorl?
No, she's still lawful. But I do think she has a good heart underneath all that lawfulness.
If you stab someone and give them a band-aid, you still stab them.
I don't think that's quite the situation there.
It isn't?
I understand what you're saying. No, I think she's following the law by the book. I think that's her job, and I don't necessarily agree with it. I just think that's how her brain works, and that's not how our brain works. So we have to meet her a little bit in the middle. And
I don't have to like her.
No, you don't have to like her, but we do have to work with her, because the truth is this still is her city, and now is not the time to try a power struggle.
The city is the demons right now.
Yes, I know, but I'm just saying that Persta still has some power here, and I think trying to negotiate that right now might be a futile use of time.
James, you are more familiar with the Nightstone wizards.
And demons.
Do you think that they are going to be better led by us or by Persta?
I think they're smart. I think they'll listen to the best ideas. So, I mean, I think once she, with something she's already done, once she says that the moratorium has ended and that magic can be used, I think the students, that some of them are probably no more than children, but I think they'll listen to the wisest voice. I hope. But I think we need to... Yeah, I agree with Lily. A power struggle is not what we want. We need to make a united front.
I will be respectful.
Everyone, okay. Please, Civ, you actually need to sit and spend time with that hilt.
Yes, it doesn't look like it's doing anything right now.
Yeah, you need to take an hour just like sitting with it.
Fine, I will go find a quiet place. I'm gonna walk away.
Lily, this is a weird question. I may have asked you it before. Could you inspire me, please?
Sure.
Thank you.
I think you look great today.
Thank you very much.
Hey, real quick, I want to mention we got a number of gold potatoes just now. Bacon Chef Tommy gave us one a few minutes ago. Thank you, Bacon Chef Tommy. Incredible. And then Emotional Reserve comes with four golden potatoes. Thank you, Emotional Reserve.
Thank you.
Incredibly generous.
These numbers are wild.
Thank you, Bacon Chef Tommy. Thank you, Emotional Reserve.
Thank you.
That brings the Team Force of Good. We've had a wild swings tonight. Team Force of Good, 59%. Team Force of Evil, 41%.
Lily, do you want... maybe you should take this belt.
Well, you don't like it?
Oh, no. I like it a lot. Never had so much power in one place before. And I've been a barbarian. Oh.
I'll go, no offense.
Hmm?
But I think technically I'm actually stronger than you for once in my life.
No.
Not
You
really
wanna-
physically, but like,
Oh.
if someone was to hit me, I might last longer than you in that situation. And a
Agree
quick
to disagree,
escape.
but I understand what you're saying.
Yes. An escape plan might be good for you.
I feel bad running.
You don't have to feel bad. Again, Uggo.
But how am I brave if I am running?
Because, Uggo, running preserves you for all the good you still have left to do. Because your power is not just brute force in one fight. You have
But
knowledge.
Also my dashing looks.
Also your dashing look. Yes, and you have knowledge that is valuable. If we are in a situation where we are all going to die, one of us better get out alive, because there is a lot of things we have to say to someone.
That's why I want to give you the belt. Because I don't. If we're all gonna die,
And he kind of looks back at the other ones.
the best of us has to live.
Well, maybe agree to disagree on who that is.
Fine. I'm going to talk to Persta.
Uggo,
Hmm.
if we get in a situation where it's really bad, I could come with you.
That is true.
Okay. Just maybe we agree to have an eye on each other's backs.
Yes.
Just like
I
old
always
times.
do. I always do.
I know. And now I do on you more than ever, because I feel like I can actually help.
Jeff, James is finding a quiet corner as well and finishing a short rest. But while that's happening, I would like to ritual cast Contact Other Plane.
Right. As you move through the crowd, any student that catches your eye or catches eye of you reacts strangely, as if there's a demon in their midst. And a number of times it takes Torvald even to calm a student, or as a rumor starts to spread that a demon is in the room. So you find a place.
I probably try to smile, but it probably just looks
Yeah,
worse.
it gets worse. Yeah, for sure. It's like Venom smiling.
Hello.
All right. So, but you managed to find a place sequestered from the rest of the group, and you sit down cross-legged and begin to ritual cast Contact Other Plane.
Advantage. I have to roll an intelligence saving throw to start the spell. Advantage or disadvantage?
You've got straight roll as far as I'm concerned.
And I've got Lily's inspiration. Don't need it. Nat 19.
Nice.
Whoa.
All right. So you
That was a big
focus.
roll.
Yeah. Insane demon man in the midst of the
that could
safe
have been
house does not
real
would not have
bad,
been, yeah.
but it's worth it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you enter this trance, and your intelligence, your brain is focused, trying to maintain your hold on sanity through it. And you manage to do so. All of a sudden, everything goes black in your perception.
Are the demons in Turlis searching for something? What are they looking for? Power in the form of a hilt?
Yes.
Are they able to track it?
Yes.
James nods to himself. Were you Frisia Paul's patron? It's 5, I believe.
I hate to do this to you, Morgan. Did you make your intelligence saving throw?
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah,
he did.
no, I rolled
He
a
did.
nat 19. Yeah, yeah.
Good, good. Was
Oh,
like,
yeah.
well, we're out of James.
Yeah.
That's why I said it was a big roll.
Big roll. Big roll.
All right. So, is there anything else anybody else wants to do during this short rest?
James's eyes pop open and rushes to find the rest of his friends.
Uggo goes over to Persta,
Yeah.
holding himself high. I may have misjudged you.
And are you?
Now, I still think you did wrong, but I also did wrong.
You are, of course, welcome to your opinion. But I fail to see how the safety of my city is any concern of yours. Any concern in regard to judging my actions.
Well, you may not know it, but you stand in front of the King of Thorn. And so, you are now misjudging me. My concern for the people of this city and the people of Ain is great. I am a paladin of the Candle Queen. And what I have found in you is stubbornness. I found this in myself as well. Game recognized game. Sorry, couldn't help it. Sorry, couldn't help it.
No, that's canon. Uggo says.
Game recognized game.
Persta responds, "Play on, player."
No.
Are the poor and destitute part of your city?
Of course,
Are magic users part of your city?
not when they violate our laws.
They are still parts of your city. Just because you decide that they are not, because you don't like what they did, does not change that they have put time and effort into the blood of this city.
What they did is violate our laws. There is only society by shared agreement.
That I can agree with.
They made a choice, and their actions have consequences.
As do yours.
Indeed.
And when they died, your actions became far worse than theirs. And
It was never my intention.
Intentions are exactly the problem.
You lay their deaths at my feet.
I do. You're the one in charge.
I am in charge of my people, the law-abiding citizens of this city. They chose not to be. They were given a choice. No one was expunged from this city without a choice. Continue to use magic and you are not welcome here.
Oh, but all of a sudden now it's okay.
Your friends, through their courage and bravery, have convinced me otherwise. When the law changes, so do the circumstances.
And you can just wash away all of the people that died now that the laws have changed.
They did not die as a result of my law. They died as a result of their choice to violate my law.
I will help save this city because it is the right thing to do. But I will do everything in my power to make sure that you lose your power over this city.
The deaths of any innocent life hangs heavy on my conscience. I will not deny it. But I am responsible for the citizens of this city, the law-abiding people of Turlis. First and foremost.
Has it occurred to you that it is wrong? That viewpoint hurts more than it helps?
I do not agree with that sentiment.
I hope you survive this fight so that you can see the errors of your ways, as I hope to see mine. Thank you for helping me see one of my errors. And I'll go leave.
Ugo, could I see you over here, please? Lily, Fahima.
Yeah.
Siv.
I left, dude. I went to go find a secret hidey hole so that I could attune with this blade.
All right.
So unless you're writing something in your book and it's been less than an hour.
Yeah, I will write in a book. Where are you? Very important update.
I am focusing on this sword so that I can use it.
Okay. Just tell me where you are. We'll come to you. Okay. And
I am in the room with a bunch of red rugs.
The red rug room. Yeah, I remember it. Okay, come on. We're going to the red rug room. I will bring everyone to the red rug room.
All right. So, rule as written is if you're interrupted in the middle of attunement.
Wait, he can't talk?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, if you want to read the rule as written.
Oh, man.
Civ doesn't know that. So.
Man, James would.
But you didn't know he was going to attune that, did you? Until he told you.
Yeah, I think he did.
I said I was going to go attune to this blade, and then I went into a different room.
I will leave him to do that then.
Dude,
I'm
really?
sorry.
Even talking interference?
Well,
really?
I would say he must maintain his concentration on the item. And if you're doing something else, you're not concentrating on the item,
I would
right?
make the argument that concentration spells can be other spells can be cast.
Wait. Let's read it as written. Let's not get upset. All right.
Excited.
Attuning an item requires a creature to spend a short rest focused on only that item while being in physical contact with it. This can't be the same short rest used to learn the item's properties. This focus can take the form of weapon practice, meditation, or some other appropriate activity. If the short rest is interrupted, the attunement attempt fails. Otherwise, I guess it's just the short rest is interrupted.
Right.
Otherwise, at the end of the short rest, the creature gains an intuitive understanding. Okay.
What's interrupted? I mean, like.
I mean, it's kind of vague.
Having a conversation.
Yeah, it's kind of vague.
It's kind of vague, but I would read that to mean the short rest itself is interrupted, not the meditation or concentration.
I agree.
I will allow the continuation of your.
Thank you. Thank you. But yes, basically, James will.
You got off easy.
Civ
goodness.
does stop at one
Very
point
nice.
just to take a drink. Back to it.
That's a very nice DM.
I'm so thirsty. What if I have to use the bathroom? No, just kidding. Okay, so yeah, I'll bring everybody into the room, shutting the door behind us. Big revelation. Big revelation. They are looking for the hilt.
I don't know if that is a huge revelation.
Well,
how do you
I've
know this?
Confirmed by Shathargot himself, or itself.
I see.
Did you ask Shathargot about the whole demon status?
No, I had to make sure I got the 411, so to speak, on the hilt, or what they were looking for. So, and that took. It tried to be very tricky with me. It didn't want me to know, but I sort of forced it to answer.
Okay. Well, I don't think that changes much, does it?
Well,
We assumed it was going after one of the things, the amulet or the hilt.
if we know for certain that possibly us taking the hilt out of the city could be the best way to fight them.
And we go?
And then the
Guide-
demons follow us.
Yeah, I think we still need to go and kill the whoever is leading these demons. We can't be running from demons forever.
If your goal is to eradicate the demons, then we're best off here fighting with everyone else.
Yes,
Alright.
here we have allies. If we leave the city, we are on our own.
All right, I
The
agree with
Lord
that.
of Crows knows that we have it then?
They don't know that
How?
we have it. They just know where it is.
If we put it in the bag of holding, will people know where it is?
Well, they know where it is, as in they know it was in the vault. Do they know that we have it?
I don't think they know that we have it because they would be here right now if they did.
And unless they could sense where it is as it travels.
I think maybe they have. I asked specifically, can they track it, and the answer was yes. So they have an idea as to where it is. And so if we take it out of the city, it is very. It seems reasonable to think that they would follow us.
Is there a way we could perhaps, I don't
But
know,
I
teleport somewhere else, activate it, set off the alarms? They're somewhere else. They're wherever I can, by the old lodestar, and then we quick jump back through the teleportation circle, stick it to the bag of holding. Look, they can't detect it anymore, and they're off somewhere else in Iron trying to look for it. How's Turlis?
While Fahima is clearly spiraling in fear, Ugo takes the belt off and wraps it around her waist.
Go.
Yeah.
You still need to use this.
I think you are more afraid than me.
I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid.
Okay.
Listen, it's been in the bag of holding. The hilt has been in the bag of holding for what, the last 2 days? I think that's that. I think they know.
They know what?
I think they know where it is, regardless.
Well, why don't I
So-
try to talk to one of the crows?
The crows are
Okay.
demons.
Oh, speak to animals.
You talk to demons?
I mean, yeah, you can try. But to say what?
Well, get more information. How do they know where it is?
That also
Can
might
they tell us where exactly it is?
that also might give the Lord of Crows more information than maybe we want them to have.
And we know that they don't know exactly where it is because they're not attacking Nightstone right now.
So, my idea was not that
Right.
insane, right?
Sure, you can talk to a crow if you want. I doubt.
No, the jumping
No,
through a
that-
teleportation circle, setting it off somewhere else, doing a decoy. It's a decoy system.
But unless we
she's-
leave it there, they're going to follow it right back.
No, you put it in the bag of holding.
That's what I'm saying. It's been in the bag of holding for the last 2 days, and they knew that.
Wait, I thought you said they didn't.
No, they did. They know where it is. That's why they're here. They can track it. It's
They
been in the
can
bag.
track it. I thought you
Yes.
clarified that they cannot track it.
No, they can. They can.
Has it been in the bag of holding this whole time?
Yes.
Ever since we got it out of the bank.
I'm going to step in here.
Yeah. I was about to say.
This argument's circular. And it was made clear to you at the vault that there were magical precautions in place at the vault. You removed the hilt from the vault. And then you put it in the bag of holding. But there was a period between when it was out of the vault and in the bag of holding.
Mm-hmm.
When it was
identified. Mm-hmm.
Also, Civ has been twirling it through the city.
Yeah. So I don't think it's been in the bag of holding the whole time.
It is not.
Okay.
It was in the bag of holding for a long period of time, which
But
is
not
why
the whole time.
they don't know where it is.
Yeah.
Right.
Which is why the city is getting bombarded instead of targeted.
Right.
So
they
it's
can.
safe to assume that if it's in the bag of holding, they can't track it.
Correct.
Yes.
So I don't think your idea is bad, Fima.
I don't either.
Okay.
So where would you say which teleportation? What? Okay. What are our options for circles?
The Ashen Mage Slayer, the Deep Reef, bottom of, the Lodestar, and Turlis. So limited options.
Well, Torvald
What,
could
Algo?
send
What's
us
that look on your face?
Anywhere.
Algo's
Not
twirling
Turlis.
skin.
We can eliminate that one.
Not the Ashen Mage's office.
Algo.
Well,
It's underground, and how would they even get there?
They're demons.
just saying, if you put it in Ashen Mage's office, then she's got to deal with the thing that's her fault anyway.
But I wouldn't quite leave it there. Also,
No.
very risky to do that. On the
Very
note of not
risky.
wanting to die, I've
Very
already
risky.
quite,
It's more of
that rubber
wishful
band is
thinking.
quite stretched at the moment.
I wishful think.
Yeah.
Well, the safest option is the Lodestar for all of us.
Yes.
Are there people nearby the Lodestar that we need to be worried about, though, with the demons? Because I feel like if we do initiate a demon attack there, we maybe need to take responsibility for the fact that we're rerouting to another place with people.
Well, actually, when I
But it was pretty
teleported there
random.
previously, there were I forget what we called the creature name, but
There
there
were monsters.
abominations there.
Yeah, they were creatures.
The ones, the stitched together monsters.
Well, perhaps that's the best option then.
But the Cormorancy was 2 days away. I mean, Typh was a few days away. It's
Well,
not.
I'm not saying we do this and we don't have responsibility. But
Okay.
So how would
the
this, just to play with the idea, how would this work logistically? I teleport, activate the hilt, but I would need a day to attune to it.
an hour.
An hour to attune to it.
I am almost ready to use it.
So Civ could run through, use it, run back. How long is the teleportation circle open? 6 seconds?
Well, I would have to go with him.
No, I know you'd have to go with him. Yes.
I'd have to cast it again.
Can you?
It
Yes.
would.
How long does it take to
No,
cast?
I would need a long rest before I could do that, but yes, I have the ability to do it twice.
so you'd have to stay there though. For 8 hours.
No.
No.
I need a long rest now. Sorry to clarify that.
To cast it twice.
We don't
I'm-
have
I'm-
8
I'm-
hours.
We don't have the
Exhausted.
time. I don't think this plan is going to work because we don't have the time.
I can cast
It's
it
a good
once
plan.
now.
I want to tell you, it's a very good plan. I just don't. If we don't have the time. The city is in danger now.
Well, we know we have what they want, and that's important. I agree that while we're here and we have reinforcements and we have the ability to turn back the demons and to fight them and possibly cut the head off the Lord of Crows, as you said, that maybe this is the right time to do it. But
This
then,
is the right time because we have the Wizards of Nightstone on our side.
Yes.
yeah.
We are not going to have a better fighting force anywhere else than having a united front with wizards.
It is also the chance to show how stupid the moratorium is.
I'm willing to fight. I just have this feeling that it's sort of a bag of holding itself. It's bottomless. The demons will keep coming. So
That is why we have to find a leader.
But we have seen that when you cut off the head of the leader, they stop coming.
Even if we just allow the city a chance to breathe and to weaken the demons for a time and give the city a chance to get back on its feet, then we
Yes.
leave.
honestly, Lily and I are both going to need 8 hours of rest if we're going to be fighting hordes of demons anyway. Lily said she was quite depleted. As am I.
We don't have time for a long rest. Persta made that clear, and as did the rest of the wizards.
Well, again, Look at me.
I know.
Well, you have the belt
James,
now.
isn't there like a secret room or a vault or something that Fesh was keeping magical items in? Couldn't we break into that and use whatever is there as a weapon?
Jeff, do I know anything about more magic items in Nightstone?
Certainly potions. There's a number of, you can find a number of health potions, but I don't think you would have like offensive weaponry. It's certainly not that kind of a situation.
Here's a wild option. And I know that I say we shouldn't split the party, and I'm not one for doing that, but what if Fahim and I take a long rest? You all fight. And then, as soon as we can, I could take an hour right now and attune myself to the hilt. We'll take it, teleport, activate it, and come back as soon as we can. And I say that we do that because we won't know where you're at within the
I
fight.
might need to use the sword against the Lord of Crows. That is why I am doing this. Someone needs to chop off the head.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Yeah. Also, just so many things go wrong when the five of us aren't together. I don't know if you've noticed.
I think
I
we're putting a
have.
lot of people's lives in danger by keeping them here. That's all I'm going to say about that. I think it's a bit selfish if we know that there's a way to divert them.
Well, we can at least fight for a bit before we take our rest. Or at least I could rest and Civ could come with me.
Take a short rest. And then
You
maybe
do much for us. Won't do anything for me.
I can get one teleportation circle worth of rest. I'll go.
Can't you ritual cast teleportation circle?
Even if I can, it still uses a spell slot.
No.
It
No.
doesn't?
Not if you
no.
ritual cast it. It doesn't use
Oh, I
a
was
spell slot.
thinking of
Don't
prepared spells.
That's the benefit of a ritual spell.
That's
yeah,
right.
it doesn't use a slot.
Is it a ritual?
I think it is.
I
Pretty
think you
sure it
can. It would take it takes 11 minutes, but yes, I mean that's a
Oh
long.
my
But that solves our
God.
problem, though.
11 minutes is a lot better than 8 hours.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wow, good call. I do that. I get my my prepared spells confused with my
Yeah.
spell slots sometimes.
Right. Yes. Wait. 1 minute.
I'm not seeing ritual on here.
I don't see ritual either.
I guess not. I stand corrected. It is not a ritual casting spell.
Oh, darn.
Been
Okay.
great. Been great.
Yeah.
There is one more option. Torvald can open a portal.
Yes.
He can only open portals to other natural order members, and where is there another one?
He
I
said the
don't know.
Duke.
He did he?
We talked about the Duke.
Well, the point
He-
is,
he
wherever
ne-
he sends us has to be a demon available.
Never actually said that he could
Yeah,
take
yeah.
you there.
We also don't want to be anywhere where there is other people, technically, I think, because
Yeah.
that creates the same issue. Well, it seems like at this point we have to fight for a little bit.
Get the short rest. Finish. Rest up. I know it won't do much, Lily, and
Won't do anything for me.
right.
I mean, I'm happy to take a short rest, but it'll just
Yes.
be me sleeping.
Right.
You might find that that'll help you a little.
Until
The
I-
wizards will also need to be inspired because they are students and they are going to be the first to flee when battle starts.
Yes.
My only concern is the morale of the Nightstone wizards. If they are being led by Persta and the battle goes poorly, they will break apart and then they will be picked apart one by one by the demons.
Which is why I
I've seen
think
this happen on the
luring the
battlefield.
demons away is a much better option than killing a bunch of innocent students of Nightstone Abbey.
We might not have another chance to kill the Lord of Crows. This might be our only shot. I agree with you, Lily. I do. But this could be our only chance to stop the demons. They are going to be casualties of war. That is what war
So you don't agree
is.
with me then?
I agree with you, but I'm saying there is a greater risk of us fleeing.
You're not alone.
What do you mean, Ugo?
So many times before we have been alone. Now we have all of these people who are willing to help.
You're right. It is like Bingle. It is like Lily's family.
Yes.
We gave them fire.
Yes.
We gave them hope and courage,
Yes.
and they fought and they defended their town.
And we have
This is
the
our
thing.
chance to do
And
it
we
again.
have the thing to stop the Lord of Crows.
Yes.
And I know you may not all believe, but I know that the Candle Queen is among us. And that makes me feel like the right option is to stay and fight.
I think we should tell them. I think we should let them know that we have it. But I mean, we can't keep it from them, otherwise we're manipulating them. So
I don't think we should tell Persta.
fine. Keep attuning to that thing, and I will go find Torvald.
All right. As you leave that room with red rugs in it, it's almost been an hour.
It's canon now. It's a red room.
It's almost been an hour. I mean, it's almost been an hour in real time. It's almost been an hour. And as you walk out, James, looking for Torvald back into that foyer where everyone is assembled, you arrive as Persta is addressing the assembled masses. Torvald in the back of the room, but Persta at the front of it. She has unsheathed her sword and stands at the front of all these people near the entrance, near the exit to out into the courtyard. She holds her sword high, this gleaming, brilliant sword that still has demon blood on it from where she sliced into the dredge demon. And she's saying,
Students of Nightstone Abbey, citizens of Turlis, the situation is dire. I come to you now in our city's hour of greatest need. As you know, I have stood in opposition to magic as a violent and destructive force. I have outlawed it within our city walls. But we need violence now. We need destruction now. We need every ounce of arcane artistry you can muster to quell the threat that we now face. I hereby lift the moratorium on magic in Turlis and humbly request you employ every spell in your arsenal to obliterate the demon horde that would destroy us. I do not have your abilities or your talents, but I will expend my very last breath fighting to give you time to use them. Follow my instructions, and we will reclaim our city. For Terlis, for Ein, for justice. There is a stirring reaction to that speech as the students, many of them only teenagers, ready themselves and prepare for the fight. And Torvald turns to you, James, as you walk up, and he says, what have you and the team decided?
We think we want to stay here and fight, but there is something that I've discovered that the demons want. The hilt. The hilt that is connected to the amulet. It's what they're after.
The Godslayer blade.
Correct. Now, we think that now is the time that we'll never have a better chance to try and turn back these demons, and if there is a leader amongst them called the Lord of Crows, who we've encountered before, we may be able to with our combined strength, and I'll look around at everyone, to really do some damage.
What is the alternative?
Part of me wonders if leaving with this blade. I just need you to know that we have the thing that they're after in our possession. I don't want to leave you. But I guess I just want to know what you think.
Now you've told me stories. Wandering across the countryside of Ain. Ever since the shattering, you have encountered demons.
Everywhere.
As I sat for weeks on end in that horrible underground cage, I saw demons as well. Braca hunted them, used them in some nefarious way. You were never there. The hilt was never there. Do you believe the beginning and end of this threat is limited to the location of the hilt?
Maybe they would get distracted, I guess, but you make a very good point.
It is certainly possible. If they hunt that hilt, it is because they know of its importance. Do you?
I think so.
You think so?
But I think it feels like foolishness to use the most powerful weapon to run away. Let's use it for what it's intended for, to fight, to strike down evil.
Well, you happen to be speaking to a pacifist. But I will say, the doubts that that Uggo and Civ expressed to me in Hermofesh's chambers. Doubts about your purpose and your ability to be heroes. The burden that has been placed on your shoulders. It seems these are the moments where one's mettle is truly tested. I do not know the wisest course of action, and nor would I suggest it. Again, it is your burden to bear. I and the natural order, and indeed, all of these spellcasters, learning, using the knowledge of their craft. All of them are here to support your decision.
And I think we fight.
I will be waiting. I'm not really one for fighting.
Yeah, no, I know. And I give him a very awkward hug, and then go back to the others.
Yeah, can we see Grell? Is Grell anywhere in the students?
Roll me a perception check. You have disadvantage from not your hero.
Fair enough.
We also got a golden potato from Just Jules.
Thank
Just
you,
Jules.
Just
Thank you for that
Jules.
golden potato. You have advantage, or excuse me, you have Team Force of Good has the advantage in this battle. The tug of war, Team Force of Good, 62%. Team Force of Evil, 38%.
Beautiful.
5.
5. You do not see
Jeff, now that I'm attuned to this blade, do I know anything else about it other than the fact that it either gets charged by pleading to the Watchers or a bunch of people's deaths? Do I know anything else? Do I know how that works?
No.
Okay.
Got it.
Then I'm going to put it in the bag of holding now that I've attuned myself to it so that it's not a beacon, because I can always pull it out in the middle of combat if necessary.
Okay.
Great.
All right. So is there anything else you'd like to do?
Just
I'm
short rest. Yeah.
Yeah, no, you guys finished your short rest. Yeah.
Are they handing out healing potions? Can we get some of those healing potions?
Nance is back. She has 2 healing potions for each of you. They are trying to give some to the students. There's people are mixing them with water to try to get more out and get them around, hoping that the effects aren't muted by rationing.
Lesser or greater?
Regular.
They're regular. Yeah, there's healing potions.
There's an in between.
Yeah.
It's just 2d4 plus 2.
And you see Persta ready as the sun is setting on Nightstone Abbey, on Turlis itself. Persta is readying these students, faculty, these magic users who are all now inspired and eager to defend their city. And as each of you looks to the other, trying to decide where you stand, she points her sword forward, and the assembled mass of brown-robed spellcasters begins to move out into the courtyard of Turlis. That's where we'll end tonight.
Oof.
Wow, it's giving me very like Harry Potter 8 vibes.
A little bit.
All right.
Man.
That's our show for this week. I'm losing my voice. That's not good. We are at the very end of our Force War for this evening. Again, Team Force got 62%. Team Force of Evil, 38%.
Down to Clown, you're incredible.
Incredible.
Thank you.
All y'all, incredible.
All y'all.
I mean,
emotional reserve.
Reserve.
You're incredible. Just Jules.
I mean, Bacon, Scott, Tommy, and I mean, it's a wonderful outpouring, and we are super grateful. Thank you. Don't forget, you can support the show by being a patron at patreon.com/thedungeonrun. And our our highest level patrons, the Team Force of Good and Team Force of Evil, we are super grateful to our continuing Chrono Dragon, which is mind-boggling that references needed is still a Chrono Dragon. That is just, thank you. That level of support is astonishing. But the next tier down, the Team Force of Good and Team Force of Evil, we read your names off at the end of the show. But not just normally. We have a fun theme that is suggested by our patrons as well.
Woo!
And this week, let me roll to see who's going to do the reading of the Team Force of Good. I rolled a 3.
Oh, that's me.
That is Morgan Peter Brown, who will read. This is going to be great. I think this is perfect. This was submitted by Marie Listopad. Thank you for this suggestion on as a patron. This will be read. The names will be read as a weatherman reporting on an epic storm.
Oh.
Live from the location of the storm.
Wow.
Thank you, Jeff. I'm standing here on the coast of the Gulf of Mexico. It is very, very loud. But there have been reports of Category 5 Armando 89s in the area. There have been fish swimming. Oh my goodness! Fish are constantly flying throughout the air. Hadrian X's have just been tossed left and right, and there is no. And that is a Wilbro Jr. that has gotten loose because there apparently was a petting zoo that it was apparently broken. It was all kinds of chaos and carnage down here. Yes, and some Fenderills and some Wilbro Juniors broke out of the petting zoo, but it is not going well down here. The forecast. Okay, all right, wow, okay, that is an IR moo cow. That is. An IR moo cow. Oh my goodness. Oh wow. I am getting sprayed by my wife. I don't think anyone else can see that, honey.
Special effects.
Oh my god. Okay. Anyway, where was I? For this weekend, it doesn't look like things are going to be much better. The entire Gold family is coming into town, and we know whenever that happens, they bring rain and clouds and storms. But don't worry, on Sunday night, there is a 30% chance of just Jules. Which sounds nice. It plays havoc with your cars because it is jewels falling from the sky, damaging your paint jobs, your windshields. They're just going to be destroyed. So park your cars inside this weekend if you can. Kitty scritches. So there is a current tornado effect with cats going on, and what that means is that claws and teeth are just going to rake your skin. So wear heavy clothing while you're out there walking through the tornadoes. Breba is meanwhile, is really what everyone has been shouting as this Hurricane Breba has just come right into town. But don't worry, Cold Candor is giving out free samples. To aid, it's Cold Candor. I mean, it's not everybody's favorite ice cream. It's not as good as Baskin Robbins, but people are very happy because Cold Candor is giving out free samples to survive the storm. Meanwhile, Governor Bob Harris has issued a state of emergency, stating that all poo monkeys in the area must be evacuated, and certainly your past decisions, they need to be evacuated too. So take your past decisions, put them in the trunk, and drive on out of the area.
Nice. All right. Thanks for that report. Oh, sorry, you're not done?
I'm not done.
No, sorry.
We've got a lot of Forza Good people.
Yeah.
The Beaker Par Federal Reserve Bank has been broken into by a series of criminals during the storm. It's a real hurricane heist. By the criminals, I believe, are named Dawnbreaker 1990 and Adaikai. But don't worry, Sheriff Desert Wanderer let me know that they will be apprehended. And that's my report from next to the Gulf of Mexico during this Category 5 Armando 89. Watch out for the IR Moo Cows and those Just Jewels coming this weekend.
Yeah, thank you for that report. Next up, Bill will be here talking about your money in light of the fact that jewels fall from the sky.
Just watch your eyes. Just don't look up at the jewels.
Really hurts the jewel market. Okay, next up, I rolled a 5, which I believe is Katie Michaels. Who will be
the other Katie on the show?
She's yet another Taco Bell mom.
My kids are in the car.
It might be. We'll never know.
Taco Bell mom.
We're about to find out. This one's suggested by Nicole Barnett. Nicole Barnett, a patron who suggested a cold call salesman. Cold calls, my favorite part of the day.
Okay.
Yikes.
Hello.
Hi. Oh, hi.
My phone said spam risk. Who's this?
You know what I love about you, sir? You're down to clown. You picked right up. And you know what that tells me? Is you're down for a J-Rock. All right? Can I interest you in that?
Is this some sort of filthy business going on? I don't understand a word you're saying.
No, you've heard of Gorpin Played, right? You've seen those commercials on the TV.
I mean, who hasn't seen Gorpin Played? Yeah, sure.
J-Rock.
Gorpin Played. You gotta buy yourself a Gorpin Played.
That's my husband singing the theme song in the background.
Play the sound effect. Oh, also your husband.
Yeah, no, he's a big fan of Gorpin Played. Go on.
Well,
it's doing the commercial.
Gorpin Played. as you just heard in the commercial, the J-Rock is like an elevated version of that. Okay, so you're definitely going to want to get one of these. All right, so can I sign? I'm just going to sign you up right now, and you know what that comes with? That comes with a free Forest Elf 86.
Daddy,
an
Daddy,
86.
I want a Forest Elf.
You've got your Forest Elf 82. You're fine.
Sorry, sir. Do you have me on speakerphone? Because that just informs the way that I approach the rest of this.
I want the new one.
Shut up, Tommy. Shut up.
Is that a child in the background? Because
No,
you know what
that
I
is
have
not.
also. I think it is. So a shiny 8-bit boo might be actually what you're in the market for. A shiny 8-bit boo. Now you might think I'm nuts, but I'm telling you, it is going to change your life.
Listen,
all right.
listen, my shiny 6 boo works fine. I don't think I need a shiny 8-bit boo.
Well, the shiny 8-bit boo has Wi-Fi, sir. It has Wi-Fi, and that's going to change your life. Okay. Again.
All right.
Call me a student of Graham, but this is going to change your life. All right. And unless you want your child to think they're expendable crewmen in your life,
Well, he did call me that. He called me that.
Yeah, you are an expendable crewman.
Put your child on the phone. Put your child on the phone. You know what, sweetheart? Listen.
Spam Risk wants to talk to you, honey.
If your father does not get you this shiny 8-bit boo, I want you to spread that around school, okay? Because that's honestly a form of child abuse.
Get out of here, expendable crewman.
Expendable crewman.
Listen, lady. All right, what'll I do? What do you need for you to get off my back today? I'll take a Forest Elf 85. How about that?
We don't have any more of those, sir. So I'm going to put you down for a J-Rock, Forest Elf 86, and 2 shiny 8-bit boos. All right?
Yeah,
Thank you.
Yes. Extra Wi-Fi.
The ship to you, the shipping charge is $49.99 plus taxes and fees, and that'll be to you within the next 2 years due to the shipping delay.
That's perfectly reasonable.
We're also going to need
Horrible.
8 references needed.
Absolutely, ma'am.
Honey, I saw your phone. You've been talking to Spam Risk for 3 hours.
She really is a good salesman. I don't know what to say. She and Tommy were just talking for hours about shiny 8-bit boos.
All right. We are grateful to our Team
Good job,
Force
Katie.
of Good and Team
So
Force
good.
of Evil patrons. Our Chrono Dragon patron. We are extremely grateful. And we are grateful to each and every one of you who give us your time. Check out the show. Tell your friends about it. Consider being a patron over at patreon.com/thedungeonrun. Episode 99 next week.
Wow.
Hope you see you then at 6 p.m. Pacific time, twitch.tv/thedungeonrun Wednesday nights.
Will Jeff
Until
kill
then-
us all before we make episode 100?
Oh, wait.
We shall see.
Did we say who won the tug of war?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Force of Good.
Team Force of Good.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Yes,
We're
indeed.
good. We're good.
All right. See you next week. Until then, humankind. Be both.
Ah.
It started. It started. It started. Started. As a simple dungeon run. As a simple dungeon run.